I just finished reading a book called The Lion, the Tiger, and the Audacity of This Bitch.
Who was the Who was the titular bitch? Was it Kylie Jenner?
It sure was, Ian.
Wait 1 second. 2019's richest woman ever?
Richest self-made woman.
Richest self-made woman. Totally never had help from anyone else in life. It's not like she's part of a famous dynasty for taking advantage of people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I heard that her friend got in a car accident, and since she's the richest woman in the world, she could cover it, right?
Oh, almost certainly she could cover it.
Yeah, but why would she? She didn't get so far in life by giving out money to her friends and family.
No.
She never took a handout from her friends or family.
None of them.
So that's why the best option to go about helping her friend is a GoFundMe link that she hadn't even put money into when she tweeted it.
Ugh, that's scummy.
Now, if you don't know what we're talking about or alluding to, Kylie Jenner, who was in 2019 estimated to be worth $1 billion and is said to be the youngest self-made billionaire, heavy quotations. Mm-hmm. She tweeted a GoFundMe link because her friend got in a car accident and all she needed was $60,000. Mm-hmm. And I'm not very good at math off the top of my head, but isn't $60,000 0.6 of Kylie Jenner's worth?
Yeah, because she has $1,000 million at least. Yeah.
Actually,
yeah, that would.
Is it 1,000 million?
Right,
isn't it technically a million?
No, a billion's 1,000 million.
Still too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, she fucking the audacity of this bitch to be so rich and tweet a GoFundMe link to something she could just like. Oh, hey. What? Hold up. Let me just flap open my wallet here.
Yeah, how much of your net worth would like 0.6% be?
Of my net worth?
Yeah.
$60. Which I'm holding 50 here. If you were like, I'm going to die unless you give me $60, I'd be like, okay, I gotta go to an ATM real quick. I'm missing 10. Like, what a horrible person. Also, like, after everyone gave her shit,
she donated $5,000.
$5,000, which is so stupid. Just pay all of it at that point.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to think, like, five grand is like a fifth of all the money I have in the bank.
Yeah.
But I do also own a car, so probably the value of that car would be included in my net worth. But other than that,
even if we're talking just like liquid
cash, yeah, that's like a fifth of all the money I have, and that's so then to math it out, I think that would be like me giving, I don't know, maybe $5 of my money, maybe less.
Yeah. It's like if I saw a homeless man starving in the street and then I dropped my wallet and then he chased me for like 3 blocks to give it back. And I was like, oh, thanks. Here's a nickel. Even though inside my wallet is $50.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Fuck that, dude. Fuck your friend. That's not really a friend either. And also, just to double down on this, to show that rich influencers are the worst kind of people, because Lady Gaga, a legitimately talented woman, who earned her money by being talented, and a fucking weirdo, when her dog walker got shot.
Oh, that was fucking weird.
Yeah, her dogs were stolen and her dog walker was shot. She paid for all of it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about how everything and everyone was making it out to be like the dogs were kidnapped.
Yeah, that
And
was
not
funny.
a
No, that was
human
all the
man.
headlines where it's like, Lady Gaga's dog stolen. Also, her dog walker was shot. And it's like, whoa, 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 we're missing a step here.
You're very much burying the lead. A human man may die. Some dogs
Yeah.
are gone.
Yeah, but Lady Gaga paid for like all of his surgeries and stuff.
That's good.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Rich people who have money for being for the sole reason of them being rich, horrible people. Rich people who have earned their money by making multi-Grammy winning albums, cool person.
Yeah, I mean, or arguably more accurately, because I think, you know, Kylie Jenner makes fashion shit. She makes whatever. The answer is Lady Gaga grew up like a normal person. I don't know if she was like poor or middle class or whatever, but she grew up like a normal person, not rich. And Kylie Jenner has never been poor. Kylie Jenner has always been rich her entire life. And that's the difference between that, right? Because the more money you have, the less empathy you have. And that's a proven psychological study. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't go to our patreon.com. Hey guys, welcome to the Media Hole Podcast. This is a weekly podcast in which we talk about news and movies and comic books and video games and television and all kinds of fun, nerdy stuff, fucking nerd culture. Shout outs to all you liberals out there. That's the name of fans of this show. Like the Proud Boys, the term liberals came from the name of the fans of this podcast, and then it became its own thing.
Yeah.
We not fans of this podcast weren't originally called Proud Boys. That's fans of a different person's podcast.
Yeah, Joe Rogan.
No, it was a guy whose name I'm not going to say, but the guy who founded Vice News, who started the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
This is his whole thing. He's still involved with them. But like I said, we invented the term liberals as fans of our show, and it became like a big thing.
Real quick, I've done my research about Lady Gaga. AKA, I've looked at her Wikipedia page for about 30 seconds.
Her real name's like Stephanie something, right?
Her name is Stephanie Joanne Angelina Germanetta.
Oh, that's too many names on a person.
Also, Stephanie is spelt missing some letters. She didn't. Most likely, she came from middle class.
That's
like,
too many names. She might have been born rich, honestly.
Well, her mother also has that name, but like she's an American philanthropist, activist, and entrepreneur. She has a Wikipedia page, but we're like the company she's associated with is the Born This Way Foundation, which she co-founded with Lady Gaga. So maybe she was just a businesswoman. Oh, okay. She was definitely like high, like upper
class?
Yeah, higher class. Yeah, she worked for Verizon as a telecommunications executive in sales and management.
Then never mind.
Wouldn't say
one of them was born ridiculously rich, and the other one was born normal rich.
Well, okay, one of them was born rich because her mother kept marrying rich and powerful men. Lady Gaga was born rich because her mother was a rich and powerful woman.
Yeah.
So, kind of can respect it a little more. Also, it's like Verizon. If it was like Monsanto, it'd be like, ooh.
Yeah. But yeah.
I feel like Verizon just keeps to themselves, actually. Like, obviously, I don't know because they're not really present in Canada.
Not really in
but
Canada.
like, you hear about like how AT&T is just always like fucking lobbying to get rid of net neutrality and being like a big piece of shit. Mm-hmm. But then Verizon's just off to the side, like, would you like a cell phone?
Yeah, I think Verizon's probably less unethical.
Verizon at least knows how to keep their problems under wraps.
Yeah.
And they seem to just stay in their own lane by being like, what do we do? Cell phones?
Yeah, and
internet.
Verizon doesn't tweet at anybody like, do you really think the peeing in bottles thing is real? The next fucking day, like the fucking article comes out of all the in-house.
And then they were also going around and arguing with what's her name?
Elizabeth Warren.
Elizabeth Warren, being like, we don't break the tax laws. You're the one who wrote them. You're the dumb bitch who made the loopholes.
Yes,
that
me.
was the vibe they gave off.
Oh yeah, no.
And
Then she responds with like I don't hate Amazon's product. I don't hate blah blah blah. But I do hate the
how
way
they treat their workers.
Treat their workers. I hate how they take advantage of this thing, and I think we should break up parts of Amazon because big tech is so full of monopolies. And then Amazon tweets, "Oh, did you hear this? A fucking actual senator." Blah blah blah. It's so funny.
Yeah, and it's like,
it's so embarrassing.
Teddy, I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, was cool because he was a trust breaker. Everything else he did was bad, but his like whole thing about breaking up the like massive corporations was cool.
And then FDR doing the New Deal
also
was good.
Amazon News taking credit for the thing Bernie Sanders made them do.
Yeah.
Like, there's a big difference between talk and action. @Send Sanders has been a powerful politician in Vermont for 30 years, and their minimum wage is still $11.75. Amazon's is $15 plus great health care from day one. Sanders would rather talk in Alabama than act in Vermont. Shut the fuck up. Your $15 minimum wage is because Bernie Sanders yelled at you too much.
Yeah. Like, legit. And on top of that, on top of the fucking fact that, like, Bernie's been fighting for shit for way longer, it's such a bad look. Like, that's like... That shit is like what the My Pillow guy would do. Like the piece of shit who owns My Pillow.
Self-own.
Yeah. No, but just like, not even that. Just like unabashedly, as a company's corporate Twitter, fucking tweet at like government officials and try to own the libs and shit. Like, it's such a bad look.
I just found something that I hate.
What do you hate?
So I was just like, I was looking through the Amazon News tweets, and I saw something even worse on the what's happening side. Mm-hmm. The Independent, that news publication, claims that Prince William is the world's sexiest bald man.
Was that?
There's like 5 dudes in the Fast and the Furious franchise that I would just say you're wrong. Like, I don't think Vin Diesel's that attractive, but he's more attractive than Prince William.
Yeah.
The Rock is more attractive.
A lot of people were
Jason
talking...
Statham is handsome.
The tweet that I was the one that was trending on Twitter when that came out was Patrick Stewart.
That too. Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking. Or like what's his name? James McAvoy when they shaved his head. There's so many better options. Yeah. Paul Bettany when they make him put the bald cap on to be Vision.
Hot people with hair when they pretend to be bald.
Yeah, but like, it sucks.
Is Machine Gun Kelly bald or head shaved? Then him too, I guess, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Dick Grayson in that terrible story where he loses his memory and says his name's Rick with a R-I-C.
Rick Grayson.
Literally R-I-C Grayson.
I'm just gonna look up hot bald men right now. This guy's not bald. He shaved his head. But also, there's a bunch of pictures of Jason Statham. Also, you know who else we're forgetting?
Who?
A bunch of black dudes.
Oh, shit. That's fair, yeah.
Tyrese. From also Fast and the Furious.
I mean, you did already say The Rock.
Yeah, but that's... The Rock's Samoan. Also, I forget, there's a fucking thing where whenever The Rock says, like, Samoa, everyone who lives in Samoa in that movie says Samoa, but then The Rock says it. He's like, oh, Samoa. And, like, all the people in Samoa are Samoans. It's not like they got, like, a bunch of Latinos.
Right, but you do... I think it is pronounced, like, Samoa.
It is. Like it's just that for some reason The Rock was the only one who really wanted to say it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how dare the Independent make such blatant lies?
Is the Independent saying it, or is the Independent reporting someone else saying it?
Google. Google says, according to a new Google study, Prince William is the world's sexiest bald man.
Oh man. It's so funny because it's like simultaneously. First of all, it's just factually untrue. Right?
Yeah, like look at that man.
First of all,
I don't
factually untrue.
I don't
He
want to
looks
be mean to someone who thinks they might look like Prince William, but Prince William.
I don't mind. I don't mind
awful.
being mean. Prince William looks like the teacher that would be harassing underage students, but none of them like him enough.
And the Rock looks like the gym teacher who was like standing off to the side, like staring him down, like, "Hey, you might want to stop that."
Yeah.
He's too polite and also too menacing to actually go up and tell him to stop, but he'll be over there
The
like...
second somebody actually informs The Rock, he would probably kick the guy's ass, but he's not doing it yet.
Does Idris Elba still have hair?
I mean, he's got the patches.
Oh,
on
yeah,
the sides.
he's shaved. He just keeps it real low.
Yeah.
He's got a fade. So, yeah, Idris Elba, unfortunately, you're disqualified, but you're almost there.
Speaking of Idris Elba, though, have you seen the trailer for the new Suicide Squad? The new trailer?
Is he in it?
Yeah. He's like one of the main characters.
He's like the Deadshot replacement.
He's Bloodsport, who is a character who once shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet, and that's his claim to fame.
Is he the guy who did it in I can't remember what Justice League. It's an animated Justice League movie where they like stole Batman's like plans.
No, that was the Legion of Doom.
Man, he looked. I actually haven't watched the trailer, so I'm just watching it in the background right now.
Yeah.
Idris Elba looks tiny when John Cena's on scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Harley Quinn just show up? You know what? I'll watch this after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole bit is they're trying to save Harley. The first bit of the trailer is they're trying to save Harley, and Harley just shows up, and they're like, about to like infiltrate the building together, and it's like, oh, we were gonna save you. Oh, you were gonna save me? Like, so funny.
Oh yeah, I can see she's about to like cry, like, oh,
yeah.
you.
I could go back in there. It's it looks great. Obviously, we love James Gunn's work in Marvel.
Yeah. I stand people who were in Fast and the Furious films,
including John Cena.
Idris Elba, John Cena, even though the movie's not out yet.
Yeah. John Cena looks great. I'm excited for him, and I'm excited for the Peacemaker show that's going to come in January.
Is it still
funny.
him?
Yeah. It's him and James Gunn coming back to do an 8-episode show.
I feel like whenever that happens, it was because like
they
were like working together on the film, and like James Gunn just like looked over it. He's like, "Yeah, fuck with this dude."
Yeah. If you watch the trailer, it's really funny. I love how depressed Polka Dot Man is. Are you still watching the trailer?
No, I'm not gonna watch it. I'll watch if you get up to go to the bathroom at some point. I'll watch it. But
okay,
yeah.
The song is great too. It's "Dirty Work."
So
by
we can just
Steely Dan.
move on and maybe come back to that.
Okay. So then, let's see. What else do we have? We got Sony has like announced, or it came out. It's not clear. That the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita digital stores are closing, probably in July to August of this year, which means that any digital-only games or DLC are going to be unpurchasable if you haven't already purchased them. If you want to, for example, if you want to play PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, you won't be able to play as Kat from Gravity Rush, Emmett Graves from Starhawk, Zeus from God of War, or Isaac Clarke from Dead Space.
I think Kat from Gravity Rush is the only character I'd be like, oh no.
Well, Zeus and Isaac are also cool.
That's fine, but I just think that she's more interesting.
Oh yeah, she would have the coolest moveset in a fighting game,
yeah.
I think. The only good thing to come out of this is that Vita was trending on Twitter with over 70,000 tweets.
Is the Vita as easy to homebrew as the PSP was?
Probably not quite, but probably still pretty much.
Yeah. Because here's just my opinion. In the age of digital bullshit, these consoles have been around for over like 15 years now. Maybe. When did the Vita come out?
The Vita came out in 2012.
Okay. So not the Vita as much, but also they're kind of killing it because a lot of other things still have their shelf life. I think whenever a digital marketplace goes off, they should just host all the content that was available on the store on like a server and be like, just fucking download it and like legally shove it onto your PSP. Who cares?
Yeah, I think that
Just unlock everything, because if you're not gonna make money off of it anymore, just give it away. Especially if it's like a game that you can't play on things that aren't on the like the Vita. Because if you're not manufacturing it, the only way people are going to get copies of the game now is used. It's not your money to earn anymore. That's like people's problem with Nintendo, where Nintendo has this idea that they start to lose money.
Yeah.
Whenever, like, if I go in torrent, well, if I open up my emulator and I play any old Nintendo game, they're like, wow, I can't believe you just stole money from us. And it's like, well, okay, where can I buy Pokemon Black 2 from you then? And they're like, nowhere.
On the DS.
Okay, that one you're correct with. Sorry, let me go further back. Where am I going to buy Pokemon Emerald?
On the Game Boy.
No, but like the money would go directly to Nintendo.
Oh no, you'd buy it used anyway.
I would buy it used anyway. So all I'm doing is not contributing to the economy of resellers, which are just people trying to scam you, depending on what it is.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like emulation's good for game preservation, and this shit with digital stores shutting down is the problem. And this has to do with like Sony CEO, the new one, Jim Ryan, doesn't give a shit about old games, right? He had that quote where it's like, backwards compatibility is not important to us.
If
right?
he really don't care, then what he should really be doing is just allowing.
No, because that would require you to give a shit about game preservation, right? He doesn't give a shit about old games, and he doesn't give a shit about preserving them.
Yeah.
Right? So that's fucking lame. And he had this quote where he's like, I went to a Gran Turismo event. They had like the PS1, the PS2, the PS3, and the PS4 games set up. And the PS1 to PS2 games look like god awful. I can't believe anybody would even want to play that. And it's like, fuck you, God. Jim Ryan. You're shitting on your own product.
People were also literally popping off when someone was like, here's my Bloodborne demake. It was like Bloodborne, but on PS1 graphics. Honestly, I don't care because it doesn't look good. But like,
I think it looks pretty cool.
Mechanically, it looked very sound.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think the visuals looked cool. I think a low poly vibe. I mean, a lot of indie horror creators have found out that, like, low polyness can kind of make things creepy.
Yeah. Or even, like, fucking a game like Valheim, where that game looks great, but when you really look at something, it's like, wow, it looks like shit. But when you look at the grand scheme of it, it's like it all fits together so well.
Yeah, that game looks great. It's too bad it's like not fun.
That's only your opinion.
Yeah, I basically only play it because my friends are playing it and I want to not be alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like games where I build. I don't like games where I have to eat food. Or worry about
I wish
cold.
the food effects lasted longer, or there was like ways of increasing your health that wasn't like relying on food.
Eat 3 different kinds of food is fucking annoying.
Yeah, there's things about that game that I don't like. Like, I fucking hate that you can't, when you cut ore and shit, like iron ore, copper, tin, it's the only thing you can't bring through the portals, and that's all. It's like the only reason why you would need to use a boat and take a trip on the ocean pretty much, like more than once. And it's just so annoying. Just like, let me fucking go through. Like, the reason why I even want portals is to speed up the fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
also if you're going to have a limited inventory and encumbrance, what the fuck?
yeah.
It's so annoying. Pick one. Either give me an unlimited inventory like Skyrim does, but then you get over encumbered, or give me limited, but I don't get over encumbered like Resident Evil.
Or Minecraft.
Or Minecraft.
Yeah. Or Terraria.
Yeah.
And Terraria lets you carry a crazy amount of shit.
Yeah. Also, I've said it before, I'll say it again. No game is better for having fall damage in it.
And well,
No
I'd
game.
let fall damage go if it's not aggressive, but Valheim's is very aggressive.
Valheim's is aggressive. You remember that when I walked off like a fucking 1-inch tall thing and I died?
Yeah, because if you're less than 10 health, you pretty much die.
Yeah.
That's how Stevie died in like the town because he was fucking building his house and like slipped off the side while he was placing something, and he was at 2 health and just died. It's literally like if you fucking decided like, hey, instead of going down the stairs like a normal person, I'm just gonna fucking yeet myself down the last 4 steps, and then you land and you explode into viscera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, as I've said before, I'll say it again. There is no game improved by fall damage. It is only neutral or detrimental to a video game.
Yes, I would say Valheim's is detrimental.
Exactly.
Yeah, or with how aggressive it is. If it wasn't that aggressive, it would just be neutral.
Breath of the Wild sits somewhere between neutral and aggressive, but
But Breath of the Wild has like, you can open up the parachute to prevent fall damage. So
Yeah.
as long as you have stamina,
So
and
it's
the game, if you run out of stamina, allows you to reopen the parachute once while you're falling. So you can like be like, oh, I'll just wait till I get close to the ground, reopen, and then fall the rest.
So it's closer to neutral.
I would say Breath of the Wild is straight up neutral. The only time it's bad is when you get ragdolled down the mountain. But every other time it's like avoidable. It's kind of your fault if you get hit by it.
Yeah. So speaking of Minecraft and that it's owned by Microsoft, Microsoft is trying to buy Discord for $10 billion.
And I am very upset because Microsoft, every time they touch something, it goes bad.
Yeah. Oh, you
Except
remember
for Minecraft.
Do you remember Skype?
Yes. The reason, literally, we all use Discord. At least it's like we were all sitting on Skype one night, like me and my Ohio boys, and we were sitting there and we were like, Skype sucks. We fucking hate it. Let's go do something else. Instead of running a 15-person call, let's go try and find something with a server. And me and Stevie thought, like, we're fucking around looking at stuff. We thought about using TeamSpeak. We thought about using Mumble. But the problem with those is they're pure vocal stuff.
Yeah.
It's all audio. There's no, like, gathering place. So we would have to have 2 separate group chats. And then Stevie was like, oh, why don't we try Discord? It's a new thing I heard about. And I downloaded it and instantly was like, holy shit.
Yeah, the only problem with Discord is that it's really hard to figure out the second right when you get it. It's like very confusing.
I would, as someone who used Mumble and TeamSpeak when we were trying to figure this out, Discord is so much, like, a lot more intuitive and actually explains things to you.
Yeah.
Like, if you hover over something in your settings, like if you go to voice and video, if it's like, oh, do I want... Actually, no, it doesn't do it anymore. But, like, it will try to explain shit to you instead of it just being like, this is what... Would you like to turn on anti-aliasing? What? That's not on Discord, but that's a problem I have with games.
Well, remember, we both didn't know what it meant, and then Stevie wrote us a comment about it that one time.
Yeah, I still didn't bother to read it.
You didn't... I read it.
But also... Microsoft has bought Skype, ran it into the fucking ground by making it a piece of somehow making it worse, like harder to use. But then even before that, Microsoft bought Hotmail, which also means they bought MSN Messenger. And MSN also got worse.
I don't think they bought Hotmail. I think they had it because MSN Messenger stands for Microsoft something. Microsoft Network Messenger.
Does it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Microsoft. Network.
I think they rolled Hotmail into it or some shit. I don't know. Remember, like, it was just...
Yeah.
It became bad.
They redesigned it. It was good before, and they redesigned it bad.
Yeah. And
when it became Outlook is what they did. They folded it into Outlook.
Yeah, everything got folded into Outlook, but that was more, like, recent. But they just... keep making bad decisions. They acquired Mixer and ran that into the ground, just threw a ton of money at it, and like didn't do anything, and was like, oh, we have Ninja, we had to do other things.
Yeah.
And then they It lasted 5 years.
Hey, they
and then
haven't
closed
fucked up
it.
Bethesda yet, but I think that's because Bethesda kind of
Bethesda
fucked
hasn't
themselves.
put anything else out yet, and it's already been fucked up. They also own Obsidian Entertainment, but also like
But they haven't put out the big.
Outer Worlds came out fine, but it
But
could have
Outer
come
Worlds-
out better.
But that's not really post Microsoft. They'd been working on that when they got acquired.
Yeah, and then but then like they got acquired, but then they didn't put out like anything new. Well, they didn't
put out-
put
they
more
put out
money
Grounded.
into it. Yeah, and no one talked about that game.
Apparently, it was fun though. It looked fun.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see until their Elder Scrolls-esque game that they announced comes out, I guess.
Yeah, like there's a ton of Bethesda stuff that we just need to see. Since they've been acquiring things, we haven't actually seen anything new come out.
Yeah. I guess
just
Hellblade
keep
2
talking about
is
it.
coming out soon, but that's not Bethesda. I'm saying like other shit that Microsoft has acquired.
Microsoft owns. Yeah.
They bought fucking Double Fine. That's wild.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't really trust Microsoft anymore.
No, I don't either. I think Microsoft their whole thing is throwing money at the issue.
Yeah. Microsoft is like the worst Epic Games Store.
Yeah, like I like what Microsoft's been doing with the Xbox recently, just because of how like it's a lot more consumer friendly. You can play
Yeah.
anything, all the backwards compatibility stuff. That's all good. And Xbox Game Pass, of course, is great.
It's a great value, and it helps out people who don't actually have a lot of money and can't afford new games, but it's not a sustainable service. And even Microsoft themselves have said, dear God, how are we going to continue to make money off of this?
Yeah.
Like, their
But I'm fine with-
Outriders is coming out day one as...
Oh, that's a smart move by Square.
It is, because someone needs to play it somehow,
Yeah.
but that game is bad. But also, it's
Also,
it's
just
not gonna
getting
make
that
any money.
get the check cut now, because it's we're like Marvel's Avengers showed that Square's probably not going to make any money on any games as a service game. Because if you can't make money off the Avengers, you can't fucking make money off anything, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Square Enix needs to stick to, like, JRPGs, pretty much.
yeah, Square Enix needs to let their Western devs like be their own thing and do other shit.
Yeah.
Because the Tomb Raider games do great. Those games are good.
Yeah. Just like all you needed to do for an Avengers game was make a like just a fucking action adventure like beat 'em up sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And instead they were like, "Hey, games as a service." A thing
Destiny.
that doesn't work for anyone.
Yeah.
Because Destiny is constantly broke, and they're always like, we can't add more content because this game is huge, and we have to keep removing things, and we keep making bad decisions to try and reinforce the classic grind, and it's just a nightmare to do. And then Warframe's over there like, we don't do anything. Y'all just love to not spend money, so you play the game so much.
Yeah. And speaking of games I like playing so much.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard this thing. I don't know if you read it on the news already.
I read it on the topics. I literally did not hear about this in person.
Yakuza fan site The Tojo Dojo has learned that Sega is working on a sequel to 2018's Judgment.
Yeah.
Sega recently trademarked the title Lost Judgment, and while the Tojo Dojo initially reported that this was likely unrelated to the series, a trusted source confirmed that this was one of two working titles for the sequel, with the other title being Judgment Sees the Truth, a much cooler title than Lost Judgment. The title would
Yeah.
see the return of Yagami and Kaito and will be darker than the general Yakuza franchise. Which you could argue that the first game was already darker than the
It
general
was
Yakuza.
horribly dark. You
Yeah.
fucking saw like a friend, like a friend of the main character with his eyes scooped out.
Yeah, holy shit.
And then spoilers for the end of that game, a man takes a drug and his
Yeah.
eyes turn black and he starts bleeding out the face.
Yeah, man, that game's sick.
It's amazing.
I'm all
And also
for-
there's a cop who is a giant serial killer who is like just did he helped out the villain because he likes to murder.
Yeah, I'm all for a sequel to that game. Sounds cool.
No, oh, absolutely. I just want Yakuza I want Yakuza Combat back.
Hell yeah. Fucking Judgment 2 also turn-based.
My nightmare.
Yeah.
After I think I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but after Stevie finished Like a Dragon, he messaged me and he was like, "I agree with you about the combat."
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool, but it doesn't feel as cool as classic stuff. Like, Nishiki versus Kiryu at the end of Yakuza 1 is like cool as fuck, and like you're in control of the fight the entire time. The only time they take control away from you is for Nishiki to do like stance changes.
Yeah, and
like little quick time events. Mm-hmm. But then the rest of the time it's like you're actually in control, but a lot like for final bosses in Like a Dragon, you're like, "Oh, let me just sit here. Let's just watch it happen." It's like more of a movie and less of a video game. And Yakuza's already so much like a movie.
Yeah, I already like I like the turn-based a lot, but I can see like where it needs to be fixed. But I think that's a thing that could be fixed by a sequel. You know what I mean?
I think having a more involved combat system, like maybe incorporating an ATB sort of gauge, because like.
Yeah, maybe
Ichiban has all this time off now. Like, maybe he
can
might
play all the Final Fantasies.
He might play Dragon Quest and then finish them all and be like, "Oh man, let's go see other games that like maybe took inspiration." And maybe he even goes and plays like the Persona franchise, and he like incorporates that into his mental fucking stupidity of how he fights.
It's already basically like Persona.
Yeah, no, it's more Persona than it is classic Dragon Quest, but it's just like it's missing the things that are in Persona 5 that make that combat feel like active.
Even better, yeah.
Yeah. Do you watch girlfriend reviews Persona thing?
No, I didn't, because I'm kind of bored of them.
Yeah, this one is kind of just like, because you know how her perspective is just like, "Oh yeah, I'm a backseat gamer. I'm totally not a gamer." And it's like, you've played so many games now.
Yeah.
You're a gamer. You're a gamer, Shelby. Get over it.
Well, she's not like, I'm not a gamer. She's just saying like the point of the channel is that she watches somebody play.
Yeah,
and how
so
good the
she
game
was
is to
like,
somebody who watches.
I think the Persona review was pretty negative.
Damn. But also it's a fucking
Persona's
turn-based
not
110-hour game.
But also what you do in like in between actual battles is pretty boring to watch. And there's a lot of like she was right about one thing where she's like, you have a conversation at school. You leave school, you go to a secondary location.
Yeah.
And like have a conversation there about Phantom Thief stuff out in the open where everyone can hear you, and then you go home, and then right in front of the door you like look down at your phone and you read more text about the conversations you just had. But it's like a lot of like so she's right. It's not like a very fun game to watch, but when you're actually playing the game, it's great.
Yeah. I figured. I didn't. People were screaming at them to do that game, and I was like, "Why?" She doesn't seem into it.
And also, but Matt he played it when they showed his like playtime. It was like 150 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Matt, he seems like an optimal gamer. I bet he fucking almost platinumed it on the first run.
Yeah. I like Persona a lot.
Yeah. I can't wait for Persona 6, and people will be like, "Where's Joker?"
No, you already got that in Persona Strikers, and God willing, Arena.
Yeah, I actually, you know what?
I haven't played Strikers
Persona
in a while
6
because it's kind of boring.
Yeah, no, same. I hope 6 has a option of male or female protagonist, and also let them be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not because I want to be gay. I'll probably still play the male because I love
what color do
dating
you think
underage
6
girls.
is going to be?
So we had blue, yellow, red, and then the first 2 games didn't really have colors associated with them. Also, they don't exist.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions, which isn't a Persona game, was like kind of mostly green vibes.
Yeah, I would say green seems like the next. Here, 1 second. Let me just look at the pride flag.
Yeah.
Oh no, we've already had yellow.
Yeah.
Maybe like purple.
Purple would be cool.
Actually, I feel like that's more like an SMT color.
You're right.
You know what'd be cool, actually? If they did like a combination game, like, or they did like some fan servicey shit, and it was like, oh, orange. Because red and yellow, they do like a mashup of the first 2 of like 4 and 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And then purple, I guess, would be 5 and 3.
Yeah. I don't know. Purple might be the next color. Or they'll just... It's either going to be green or purple for P6.
Yeah. I wonder... Okay. Just break down super quick. P6, Tokyo or a new location?
I would hope new location because... Where was 3?
Different location. It was like an island, a fake island city in Japan.
Maybe Osaka?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you only go there in Strikers for a little bit.
Yeah, or Yokohama. You also go there for a bit. That's the best part about Strikers is like you go to the location.
All the
that
Yakuza
I've been
locations.
To in Yakuza. Yeah. There was some fucking
I'd
thing
like to see maybe like a Dotonbori, like Osaka. Or
some guy was playing Like a Dragon. He's like, look, Persona 3 references. And it's like, wow, it's almost as if it's practically the same development studios. Well, not actually, but it's like they have their parent company is
Same
the
company.
same. They're both owned by Sega.
Yeah.
Yeah. But fucking Yakuza is great. Persona
sure
is cool. A blending of the play styles for
Yakuza 8.
Persona to go into Yakuza 8 would be cool.
Yeah. I'd love
Since
to.
we're just going to be stuck with turn-based for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Black Widow's coming out July 9th. It's going to come to Disney Plus,
Which is cool.
It's going to be premiere access like they did with Mulan and Raya. It'll probably end up, and I will probably end up paying the $35 to watch this on release date because I'm a fucking sucker.
Well, what could happen. July 9th is pretty far away, and we're in the midst of trying to vaccinate everyone in Canada.
Maybe we'll be vaccinated by then.
Yeah, maybe you could offer it like, hey guys, $35. Come on over, give me some money, and we can watch it together.
That'd be rad.
Because you have like the best setup for watching a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have the TV is in a like location that's like kind of trapped. It's not very open, so the sound works very well. You got a bunch of seats there. You got additional chairs. We can just force Emma to sit on the floor because she usually does it voluntarily anyways.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah, she'll do that thing she does where she crosses her legs and just fully lies down forward.
Yeah. The thing that, like, when I look at her do it, I go...
I'm like, how does your spine work like that? But also, Emma doesn't have the fucking gut that fucks up your body at the same time.
Yeah. Or like a dick and balls. That
too, but I feel like that one's not that big of a deal because you are, like, cross-legged. You've got all that space.
Yeah. Also, I guess, like, women have, like, a higher up center of gravity or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. Like, ours is more around our pelvis and theirs is at their, like, abdomen.
Yeah, because there's that, like, video of, like, can you do this or whatever? And guys just, like, can't do it. They wipe out.
There's also one about, like, wasn't it the chair thing? Where, like, you put your head on the wall and, like, you try and lift a chair like this and, like, all the guys could do it, but no girl could do it.
Oh, yeah, that's, like, the other equivalent. But, like, there was one where it was, like,
here's why women are better than men at trending TikTok. I don't know. Vice, I can already tell you, and it's because men are sadder and will look at hot women do things more than women will look at hot men do things.
Or, like, the amount of straight men and bi women outnumber the amount of straight women and bi men. Gay men, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know this challenge, actually. This just looks like planking.
Yeah, it is, but there's like a thing about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Girl, you go on your knees and you like take your arms and you just kind of like hold yourself up. Women can do it. Men just fall completely over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I could definitely not do this. Also, I don't have the ab strength.
Yeah.
It's that women
there's a lot more
wagon
looking
that
people.
helps them.
Yeah. So Ian, you want to get into the weeks?
Yeah, I think we're out. Things to talk about. So,
We are.
Yeah. Told you we didn't have that much. We didn't really have to cut anything.
Yeah.
What was the one thing you did cut?
I don't even remember. That's
that's
how unimportant
that's
it
how
was.
shitty it was.
Oh, it was the shrimp guy and how he got milkshake ducked.
And then I had to get you to explain.
Milkshake ducked because Ian's a boomer, guys. We
Yeah.
got him. But yeah,
The man married to Topanga.
yeah, and he got the shrimp Cinnamon Toast Crunch on Topanga Boulevard's Costco.
Yeah, I just think it's so fucking. It's ridiculous that they gaslit that man so hard. I'm sure he's
funny.
done a ton of gaslighting to women, female comedians in the LA
Yeah.
area, but
It's really yeah.
fucking dumb.
Yeah, there's a lot of tweets. It was like so immediate. It was like
It was Amazon with the piss jars,
Yeah,
like
it was-
speed. It was like, no, that's not shrimp, and he's like, it's shrimp.
Yeah, he's like, it's shrimp, and then it's like, oh, I can't. I'm blocked from seeing what thing everybody's talking about because this man blocked me after after like trying to after we were dating, and he was like trying to get me to have a threesome, and then I was like kind of not into it, but I did it, and then he was like, what? Like you should enjoy this.
Gross.
Yeah. It was something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was fucked up. But yeah, I'll go first. But one of the cool things I did this week was I watched the first 3 episodes of the TV show Invincible, and it's
Good for
great.
you.
It's a really good show. It's
Oh, it's
animated.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the cast is fucking top notch. Steven Yeun as
Oh, is this animated?
yeah, it's animated. It's like
Oh,
if you
so there's a higher chance I'll watch this show.
yeah, that's why I was telling you to watch it. I'm like, you will like this show. It's awesome.
You didn't tell me that it was animated though. Like I
think I
don't
did.
really- no, you definitely did not.
Oh, okay.
So
it's
is this a parody show?
based on a comic book. It's not a parody. It is very similar. It is like doing a thing like a DC Comics thing, but it's an original story that kind of uses the idea of those things in your head
Yeah,
to get
and
you.
it's written by Robert Kirkman, the Walking
Yeah.
Dead guy. Who,
Yeah,
as people who actually read the comic books would always say, The Walking Dead was better in the comic books.
Yeah, and Invincible is the best thing Robert Kirkman ever did. It went on for like 10 years in the comics. It's super good. I really liked it. And now it's got this great show because like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg are just grabbing comic book things to make into TV shows, right? They did The Boys, they did Preacher. Now they're
Did they
doing
do
this.
The Boys?
Yeah.
Huh.
And Seth
well, and
Rogen
also-
actually shows up in an episode of this. He plays
Yeah.
Alan.
Alan the Alien.
Yep. He's great. The show's awesome. It's 45 minutes episodes, which is cool for an animated show.
Yeah, there's a ton of like in the other
super
character
famous
section. But yeah, there's fucking Zazie Beetz,
Yep.
Clancy Brown, Kevin Michael
Yeah.
Richardson, Mark Hamill, Mae Whitman,
Gillian Jacobs.
Mahershala Ali, Michael Dorn, Ezra Miller, Nicole Byer, Jeffrey Donovan, Jonathan Groff, John Hamm,
Yeah,
Justin
John Hamm-
Roiland as TBA, Reginald Bell Johnson.
Yeah, because it's cool they got Reginald Vell Johnson because one of the jokes in the comic is that they go to Reginald Vell Johnson High School.
Yeah. Ooh, Carrie Payton.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking.
Yeah, dude. Gillian Jacobs is one of the female leads.
Oh, it's a main character.
Yeah. Same with Jason Mantzoukas.
Yes. Ooh. Love me some
Yeah.
Zooks.
He's a dick in this.
That's
He's
his
a
fucking
piece of shit.
character. Name
Yeah.
like one show where he's not like a raging idiot.
But he's
or
not. No. He's not that fun of a piece of shit in this. He's more of like a genuine asshole. Like a person you wouldn't like. Rafi or whatever, the character that he plays, or the version of the character he plays in a lot of stuff, is like a guy who's like an idiot and kind of a dick, but he's like fun to be around.
He's an idiot and a dick, but he wants to be your friend.
Yeah, Rex Splode is just somebody you don't want to hang out with.
Yeah.
He's funny.
Or his fucking character Derek in what is it?
Well, Derek's not an
Good
asshole.
Place, where he's an idiot though.
Yeah.
And then when he becomes when he tries to act like all suave and smart to get what's her face back?
Janet back, yeah.
Janet, he's like still like looks like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's
This show's great. It I don't know how to pitch it to you without spoiling it, but it's actually okay, let me do it. A young boy, a 17-year-old, is the son of effectively Superman, right?
all right. I already read the premise here. I think you're just gonna tell me that exactly. I'll watch it.
Yeah, he's effective. Okay, it's effectively about a kid who's like the son of Superman who gets powers.
There's a bunch of comedians in this cast, though.
Yeah.
Is it a funny show or is it pure serious?
This is a comedy, drama, action. It's got all of it, man. It's like funny. Okay, how about this? Through like the first bit of this show, you think it's going to be like a very traditional like superhero. Like it's fun, it's funny, it's not super serious, it's like goofy. And eventually, once you're gonna get into it, especially as the new episodes come out in the next few weeks and the next seasons or whatever, right? You're gonna see that like the stories actually matter, that the plot's like a lot deeper than it is. There's a lot more drama, like especially like later on, right?
Yeah.
And like obviously the first 3 episodes is going to be the first 3, but I've read the comics and the comics are really good.
That's good.
Yeah. It's not for kids.
Yeah, well, but it's animated.
Not for kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you liked like Young Justice season 3, you'll probably like this.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. What were you up to, Ian?
Well, there was one thing I just removed from my list, so it doesn't matter. How the fuck did I fuck this up? I fucked up the formatting, boys.
God damn it, Ian. You had one job. And that was...
All right, I fixed it. So yesterday, Monster Hunter Rise came out.
Hell yeah. How do you like Monster Hunter Rise?
It's cool.
That's good.
But I'm like so weak in the game still. But like, because I'm at the beginning, I'm like not very far in. I pretty much played it on my Switch on like breaks at work, which I took a ton of yesterday. So I was just sitting in my car like playing, and it's like good. It feels faster, and there's a ton of fucking quality of life changes. Like there was a bunch of gathering shit you had to do in Monster Hunter World. Where like hey, let me go up to this mining outcrop and just press A, and you got to watch the guy like pick at it for like fucking 30 seconds, and then
like Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, and then sometimes it'd be like, oh no, you're getting the rare material. So instead of you like picking at it and then getting like an iron ore, it was like you pick at it and your character goes, whoa! And then you hold up and it like shings and it's like, yeah, you got like a really good fucking piece of like crystal. But now it's like you walk up to it, you just take the pickaxe, boom, break it. You get 2 pieces of gear. Or 2 pieces of like upgrade materials. And that's same with the bone piles and other shit. There's tons of like
and it's a lot more open world now. You can do your climbings, you can do your riding your dog, whatever.
It's vertically open now, where before you had to walk on these set pathways and like go through these set things, and then they had a bunch of hidden loading screens that would like help the game like run better. But somehow they have I guess the Monster Hunter they're on the RE engine for this game.
Oh, are they on the RE engine?
Yeah, it's No, it's because the Monster Hunter World was like a tough engine to work with because it was like the peak of that engine.
Oh, I thought World was on the new engine. That's why it didn't have like it. They had to remake a lot of the.
No, they had to remake a lot of the stuff for other dumb. Or not, actually, I think they might have gone to a newer version of the engine, and it was like, ooh.
You know what? I think they used a brand new engine for World, but then maybe they're on the RE engine for Rise, and they will be for whatever the next one is.
They are. Well, this one Rise is the new one that we're going to be on because it's coming to Windows next year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully just a year and like a straight year from now. I hope the game looks better on PC because honestly it doesn't look great on the Switch, but that's because of how the Switch is.
Yeah, and that's the resolution. Especially if you're playing on handheld mode, remember, which is like also like a lower res screen.
Yeah, it does it on purpose. So it's just the game doesn't feel very colorful right now. It looks very gray. And I know there's monsters like the monster on the box is like very red and blue, but just the way the game is, Monster Hunter always feels like it has like a little gray wash on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully they like it worked. Like, okay, whatever. Hopefully they fix that in like later parts of the game I go into, but the game looks great for what it is. It runs great in handheld mode, which is surprising. And the dogs that are your friends are very helpful. I don't like one change they made though, which is they got rid of mounting in the traditional way. So you could, if you did an aerial attack onto a monster and you had lowered the mounting value enough, you would hop on the monster's back and you would take your carving knife and you would stab them in the back a bunch until their stamina was low enough that they were stood in one spot, and you could do a big attack and get massive damage. Now they've changed it that you can't do mounts like that anymore. What you have to do is use your Silkbind attacks, which is you do like your special moves using like the fucking thing. So like the one I have, because I'm using the greatsword, is like I launch myself into the air and I hit the end, and if I make contact with the enemy, I'll do like a small hit and then I'll throw myself up in the air so I can do a bigger hit down. But it's just like not cool. And then once you do enough of those damages, you can hop on their back and like rodeo them around the map, like actually control them. And if there's a second monster in the field, you could use the monster you're on and fight the other monster. And then once you do like enough moves or it takes enough damage while you're on it, then you can do the big attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's still there. It's just a lot harder to get to.
They should have just Dragon's Dogma'd it.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, in Dragon's Dogma, you can just always jump on and grab onto and mount and climb around on monsters like a Shadow of the Colossus. And it's like the
monsters
thing.
aren't that huge, like that. You can do that. Like later on, there is ones like that, but it would feel stupid for some monsters.
Yeah, I mean it's just a cool thing Dragon's Dogma did. Dragon's Dogma is also like a lot more combo focused because
it's a lot more action.
Yeah.
Like character action,
and it's like
based.
Dragon's Dogma was envisioned as like, okay, what's Capcom's version of Skyrim? No. Well, it's by Itsuno, but that's how he knows how to do combat. But it's like, what if Capcom made Skyrim? And it's like, here it is. It's a Monster Hunter, but it's Devil May Cry, but it's open world.
Yeah. So, oh, it's a cool game. I hope Anthony picks it up today because he wants to buy it physical for some reason. I get wanting physical games.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing. Monster Hunter is one of those games where it's like I kind of just want to always have it with me, like available to launch. Like honestly, like if I'm carrying a Switch around, I don't want to be like, oh fuck, I got like some time. I'm just gonna pop in, like play my Switch, and it's like, oh no, I don't have Monster Hunter in there, so I can't play it now. Also, the game is very small. Like it's only 7 gigabytes.
What the fuck?
Which is wild compared to the fact that Monster Hunter World is 96.
Well, that's including Iceborne, to be fair.
Yeah, but there's Rise has more monsters than Iceborne does.
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool that this game's good. I was worried that this would be like, because Switch didn't get World, that this would be like World Light.
I think it was that
cool
Switch didn't get World is because there was too much like inside of the game. Like World definitely looks better, but Rise has the capability to look better because it's on the RE engine.
Yeah, because all the textures are scanned in and shit.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hopefully that means more. Hopefully that means more characters like that character in DMC5 that's just a fucking that's just like a slight variation on a Monster Hunter character.
The fucking chicken boss at DMC5 and it's just a Yonkaku from fucking Monster Hunter 4.
Yeah, man.
So Monster Hunter Rise for monsters though has like 50 at the start, I think, and World only had like 24.
Yeah. So it means that they're able to reuse models from World, is what that means. So that's good.
Oh, fucking okay. So the engine they used for Monster Hunter World was MT Framework,
Oh
which is
shit!
the engine they made for Lost Planet and Dead Rising.
And Lost Planet was one of the many games that was what if Monster Hunter but for white people.
What if Monster Hunter but more guns?
Yeah, no, because it's literally like Monster Hunter never did super great in the West until World, so it was
Because
like
it's hard, yeah.
yeah, so it was like, okay, what if we did Lost Planet and Lost Planet's just like Monster Hunter? Like it's just the same game, but it's like a Western themed,
Yeah.
right? It's like sci-fi planet, shoot gun.
The Resident Evil HD remaster, the 2014 one, is on the MT Framework.
Yeah, MT Framework was the big Capcom engine before, yeah.
Yeah. It went from Dead
Holy
Rising
shit.
2 all the way
Holy
to
shit!
Mega Man
Yeah,
Zero.
I'm just realizing that's the engine that Dead Rising's on, like, and
Yeah,
that
Dead
looks,
Rising,
and
Lost
World looks
Planet.
the way it is.
DMC4, Resident Evil 5, Lost Planet 2, a bunch of Resident Evil games, Dragon's Dogma.
Like, to be fair, all those games look great, but like Monster Hunter World looks so good. It's wild to think it's the same engine. Even.
Yeah, well, it's a different variation. It's like
Oh.
Dead Rising is on MT Framework 1 and Monster Hunter is on MT Framework 2. But no, actually Monster Hunter was on MT Framework 3.
Okay.
And it's the only MT Framework game. So
On the PS4.
PS4, Xbox One, and Windows, yeah.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it came out for Windows. I mean, Xbox, because the
Yeah.
game is actually not sold in Japan on Xbox. That's how little they cared.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's a
that's
modified
dope.
version of the engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So then, like, RE Engine is their new one.
Yeah,
and I
the
love that.
best engine that is
Love
out there
that
right
fucking
now.
thing. Really excited to see that weird game with the astronaut and the moon.
Returnal?
No. Sorry. Yeah, Returnal's cool. But I mean the one from last year's thing, like Pragmatis or something. The weird one.
Pragmatist?
I don't know if it's Pragmatist, but it's what's it called?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Look up Capcom 2022 game.
Pragmata.
Pragmata.
Oh, that game. I know what game you're talking about now.
Yeah.
That was a weird one. It looked
Yeah.
cool.
I'm excited for that because I realized I can't play RE8 because it's too scary and I don't like first-person scaries.
Yeah. I want to play it, but like I actually think I looked up the specs and like my graphics card can't handle it.
Then get it on PS5.
I don't want to. It's first person.
Oh my god, you're so dumb. Okay.
No, I'm not. I have preferences.
Yeah, but if you're like, oh, my computer can't run it, you have a...
Yeah, but it's like,
thing
am I going to spend $80 on to play it on a console where I'll be uncomfortable and don't want to fucking like deal with it the whole time, or could I just wait until I get a graphics card and then buy it on sale later?
Well, one of those things costs $80, and the other one of those things costs like $800.
Yeah, but here's the thing, I'm just due for an upgrade anyways, so
Yeah, I don't know, whatever. It's up to you, but like,
it's
I
fucking
think
impossible to get new graphics cards right
like
now.
I know it's a first-person game, but it's not like an FPS. You don't need like that good aiming.
Yeah,
It's
I know,
fucking
but
Resident
even like
Evil.
playing the demo, the Maiden demo, I fucking hated it. Like just controlling, it annoyed me so much. Yeah, it's like I guess because Emma's looking into building a computer, Chris was seeing parts and stuff. It is impossible to get graphics cards right now.
Oh yeah, that's because of
Bitcoin miners. But like the 3080 is just like out of stock permanently. But then you're like, oh, fine, I guess I can't get a 3080. Let me look up like a 2080 or a 2070, which is a pretty viable option still. And they only have like the TI versions, which are all $3,000.
That's dumb. That's annoying.
Yeah. It's like almost cheaper at this point to go get a pre-built and then just rip the card out and put it in like your computer, or like take the pre-built and just put your stuff that's better in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which sucks because I like building computers. So, and I want a new fucking card, but I can't get one because they're all so expensive. Yeah.
I am excited for Returnal though. That does look cool. Returnal gonna be my fucking roguelike that I never shut the fuck up about.
Or you think that, and then you go play it, and you're like, never mind.
No, it looks sick. It's Ian, air dash,
You're right.
third person shooter, bullet hell, but like gorgeous 3D graphics.
Yeah.
Control, but with better controls.
Control, but they tried to make it control well.
Yeah. Not that Control's bad. It's just like I think it's kind of boring, and sometimes you just randomly get in fights that are
and
like
it's
way
like
too hard.
it's very like all the cutscenes are like, wow, this is like watching a movie I hate.
I think the story is interesting. It's just I wish the game was. Like,
I think the story's fine, and I wanted to see how it went, but I'm like, I don't care for like her talking to herself, but she's not talking to herself. She's talking to you, the audience, because she's aware of the audience, like she's telling a story. But then like the zoom in on like this part of her face all the time, and it's like, should I tell her the truth of why I'm really here? No, I'm not going to do that. And then 5 seconds later, she's like, maybe I should tell her the truth of why I'm here. So anyways, I'm the boss now.
Yeah, I don't know. There's some really cool choices that they do with like the way it's shot too. But yeah,
It's not bad. It's just annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you played Monster Hunter.
Did you actually read Batman again, or did you forget to take that out?
I read more. I finished it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I finished Tom King's...
hey, you know what's actually a thing we forgot in the news?
What did we forget?
Jessica Walters died.
Oh, yeah, she did die. That's sad.
Yeah. Jessica Walters is one of the funniest women I have ever seen.
Yep.
Because, like, Arrested Development, Archer, all the other things
she played that character. She played that character in Arrested Development so well. Archer just paid her to play the character again.
Yeah, and like she's so quotable and did like so many jokes, like or like she's like, look at what the gays have done to me, Michael.
Yeah.
Like what a fucking actually legendary like actress who was just like great, like had such great comedic timing. They were like, just be in comedy forever. That's all. That's what we want you to do.
Yeah, she's great.
Also, did you see a picture of her when she was young?
Yeah, dude.
God, she was gorgeous.
She was in that like weird Doctor Strange movie thing.
I watched this mini doc on YouTube about Leslie Nielsen.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see what he looked like when he was young?
Yeah, I did.
Incredibly handsome man.
Handsome lad.
And hilarious too. Like his like story of how he got into comedy was just literally like, hey, just go in there and play this so straight-faced, but you're going to say the dumbest things. And he's like, well, I got it.
That's the whole way that, like, the thing with Leslie Nielsen is that shit he doesn't think is funny, or the shit he thinks is funny doesn't work. And that's why, like, a lot of movies that aren't by, like, certain people, he's not that great. But then, like, when he's in stuff like Airplane and Naked Gun, which are all by, like, the same guys.
Yeah. And also, they're based off of a TV show that he did in, like, the 80s.
Yeah. Well, like, I mean, Police Squad was also by the same guys. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean.
Yeah. But, like, the reason why they got him is he never thought any of the jokes they were doing was funny.
Yeah.
And so that's why he's so straight-faced. Is because, like, he doesn't actually think it's that good. And it's so funny because he doesn't like it.
But he says he'll do anything for a laugh, even like embarrassing himself. And I think he was on like a very old Conan interview, and he like has a fart machine. He's like, yeah, I will do anything for a laugh, even like debase myself and make myself look like a fool. And he does it like constantly in interviews. Yeah. Like there was one where he was like, yeah, I just don't, there's just like he said something like is the lowest form of comedy, and then is like next to farts or something, and then he just farts. Very funny, man. So was Jessica Walters. Rip in peace, but she also was like 80, so
yeah,
she lived it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it was Batman by Tom King.
Batman by Tom King. So I finished it. If you remember last week, I read just the first 3 story arcs. Now I have read all of the following story arcs.
And bubbly tastes like shit when you leave it sitting for like 5 more minutes after you open it.
Yeah, well, it goes flat really fast.
Unlike LaCroix, where I can come back to that shit an hour later and it's like, oh, it's still worthwhile.
Yeah. But yeah, so Tom King's Batman is... I'm going to stick by it and say, you know what? It's really fucking good. There's some really great stuff in here. There, obviously, the lead up to the wedding, because, like, Bruce and Selina are, like, the main sort of plot line here. All the stuff with them is really good. Of course, like, the wedding, very famously, spoiler alert, doesn't happen. She leaves him at the altar. And that's bullshit. It's so bullshit to lead up to it and not do it. But where the story goes after that, like how they make it work, saves it. Like, I would be pissed at this run if right after they didn't, like, absolutely do stuff with Batman being sad about it. Like, and, like, that being the point. Right? Like, Batman gets a lot more brutal, and then Bruce Wayne has to go on a jury and, like, find Mr. Freeze not guilty because he realized that as Batman he did something wrong.
Oh.
Yeah, so there's like a 12 Angry Men arc with like trying to get Mr. Freeze off, which is great. A really cool story idea.
Get
All right,
Mr. Freeze off.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
The city, but where it ends, the thing that's kind of frustrating is you can absolutely tell this by like what happens. So his run is about 85 issues, maybe a little bit more because of annual issues. But it was supposed to be 100 issues, but I think the fact that like some people really fucking hated this run maybe made them cut it short. But it's really good. It's just like City of Bane feels like it's a little bit shorter than it needs to be. I know it's 10 issues and is like the longest story arc in the run, but like it feels like it needed an extra 5 issues of that alone. And on top of that, like the guy right after, so like spoiler alert, Bruce and Selina split up, but it's for a decent reason. Like Selina leaves him because she thinks that like if Batman's happy, he can't be Batman, you know? And she's like, oh, I'm fucking everybody else over to have this life I want. But then for City of Bane, when the city gets taken over by Bane and another villain that I'm not going to spoil because it's a great reveal, like it's somebody you would not expect to be a Batman villain.
Lex Luthor.
Nope.
I tried.
You will never guess it, even though it's a character you know of. I know you know of this character. You'll never guess it.
Black Manta.
Nope.
Martian Manhunter, but he's evil.
No.
Martian Manhunter, but he shows up on Bruce Wayne's doorstep and Ben Affleck just goes, uh-huh.
No, Martian Manhunter doesn't show up at all, actually.
Just like fucking Justice League.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Do you know that was that scene at the end of that movie with like Martian Manhunter was supposed to be like 5 other characters.
Wait, really?
No, it wasn't supposed to be that many, but it was supposed to be Green Lantern, like Hal Jordan, like bring back what's his name?
Oh, really? That'd be cool.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds, but they but J.J. Abrams or someone else was doing like a TV show.
Yeah, he's currently working on a Green Lantern.
Yeah, so they didn't want to like double down and then have like different actors or like show off the look before, so they just said no.
But they've already done that because the spider things that the fucking Apocalyptans put on the faces of people are clearly supposed to be Starros, but then a real not mechanical Starro shows up in Suicide Squad, the new one, the trailer.
Yes. Anyways, they were just like, no, you can't have that one. And then he was like, fuck, fine, I guess I'll do Martian Manhunter.
Yeah. A Martian Manhunter shouldn't have been in that movie. He has no purpose. And I like,
and also the fact that he sits on the fucking back burner the entire time, like, nah, they got it.
You see, it's so funny because the scene in which we see Martian Manhunter, it makes complete sense, and then she turns into Martian Manhunter, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
No wonder the same scene happens, but without that part in the fucking Whedon cut, because it's so unnecessary. But whatever. We're not talking about Zack Snyder's Justice League. We're talking about a good thing. But yeah, I really like this run by Tom King, and I do want to highlight something that I wish was a little bit longer, because it's a 2-issue arc that I wish was 80 issues. I wish it was fucking 1,000,000 issues because it's such a great story. Okay.
Yeah.
Booster Gold, a character who I think you're only slightly familiar with.
He's gay.
I don't think he is. Maybe he's bi. But Booster Gold is a character who is like a loser guy way in the future who like was a whatever, it doesn't really matter. He worked at a superhero museum and decided he wants to be a superhero, so he stole a bunch of superhero shit that has powers in it, like a flight ring and all sorts of shit. And then went back in time to the Age of Heroes so he could fight alongside Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and all the like, so he could be famous. He is a character who does the right thing, but is also like a goofy, stupid asshole. And he's like a fan favorite. Booster Gold, when he hears that Bruce and Selina are getting married, gives them a gift. And I will tell you that this story starts with the world on fire and Green Lantern putting his ring to his head and killing himself. Fucking Gotham City's on fire. An angry, violent Dick Grayson is Batman. There is a Joker virus that's making people into Jokers. And Bruce Wayne is in his mansion with his 2 alive parents not giving a shit.
Nathan?
Yeah?
I'm in a My Hero Academia like shitposting group.
Yeah?
That is not an edited clip.
I was right.
You were right.
Hell yeah.
Izuku Midoriya, aka Japanese hero Deku, wanted for mass murder.
Hell yeah. So this story, Booster Gold goes to see Bruce Wayne, and here is what he says. Okay, so like in my time, you're Bruce Wayne, you're Batman, and you're getting married to a Catwoman, and I need to get you a gift for the wedding. And I thought, like, what could I get? What should I get? Like, what do you buy for the man who has everything? And then I was reminded of that one story when you and Diana got Clark that plant, and it turned out to like put him into a dream world where he saw like what his life would be like if Krypton was never destroyed and he was there. But then he realized, like that, even though it was like sad, the real world's still better. And so I was like, you know what? That would be a great gift. So then I went back in time and we saved your parents.
Isn't that... Isn't that also the one where he like Superman has to like kill his own son or something? His like Kryptonian son?
Yeah, like that's a famous story for the man who has everything. But effectively he's like, so then we together, me and you, went back in time and we saved your parents. And now, the world's on fire, everything's fucked up, the Joker virus, Hal Jordan just killed himself.
How about yours?
Hal Jordan just killed himself. Justice League's all died in space. So like now you gotta come back with me and we gotta, well, not kill your parents, but like, not stop ourselves from saving them. You ready, Bruce? Bruce Wayne smashes Booster Gold's robot.
It's like how, like the Flash thing where he goes back in time, accidentally saves his mom, and then has to go back again, but then has like a nice conversation with her.
Yeah, this is like a more Batman themed, because I mean Flashpoint's already pretty Batman themed. Flashpoint, but like in this world, it's like. It's so funny, yeah. It's such a good pitch because again, like the comic doesn't give you any context for what happens until Booster Gold does that speech that I just did for you. Like, and it's so funny because it's all just his face and different like emotions explaining the whole thing. But the problem is it like skips through like a year passes and he does like this shit that try to get Bruce to like go back and like one point. He's like, okay, we'll get Selina Kyle to come there and he'll fall in love with her again and then we will fix it. And then he brings Selina Kyle, he breaks her out of Arkham and she's like a serial killer in this world. And like he breaks her out of Arkham and brings her to Wayne Manor and Batman Dick Grayson, a Batman that uses guns, follows them and then Selina Kyle and Batman kill Bruce's parents.
So okay, Selina Kyle and Dick Grayson Batman.
Yeah,
kill Bruce's parents.
Yeah, in front of adult Bruce, and he does. Obviously, they do like the overhead shot of the again, but it's in the house and it's adult Bruce, and then Bruce like starts like it's so fucking. It's such a good thing, and I wish it wasn't 2 issues. I wish it was 80. It's so funny. It's so it's so dark and disturbingly funny. Like, it's like if Flashpoint was like trying to make you laugh by how fucked up it was. Speaking of Flashpoint, the character who is the secret villain is one of the characters that you see in Flashpoint.
Zoom.
Nope.
Evil Superman.
Nope. Superman's not evil in Flashpoint.
Emotionally stunted Superman.
No.
Thomas Wayne.
Ding 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 ding.
Evil Thomas Wayne.
He's not evil.
Really.
He's
good. Batman with guns.
His motivation is that he doesn't want his son to do what he did, to be him, to be Batman. Right? He's like, live a normal life, you motherfucker, and I will fight you for it. Right? I'll fuck over everything for it. Yeah. Also, really sad they kill off Alfred at the end of this run, which is great.
No.
Yep. It's really good. It's really sad. It's really well done. But yeah, also at the end of this run, obviously, like, Batman and Catwoman get back together because she realizes, like, the whole thing was that she broke up with him was stupid. And then I was like, that's great, and that's a great ending. And apparently the guy who wrote the next run, who's also apparently really good, and I heard that next run's really good, but immediately one of the first things that happened is Catwoman gives all of Bruce Wayne's money to Joker.
There's a fucking thing in, I fucking hate it when character arcs are just like, oh, I can't love you, I have to let you go. It's like, shut up. Just get together, pussy.
Yeah.
Stupid. Yeah, so anyways.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. Anyway, I would highly recommend Tom King's Batman run. It's really cool. Yeah, I mean, it's you do need to have some knowledge before going in because it is like it's not a standalone. It's like part of a ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But you don't need a ton of context. You need to have read Flashpoint. And you need to know some of the things that happened in Scott Snyder's Batman. You could jump into this and have no problem. You might be like, who's Duke Thomas, aka the Signal? And you know what? It honestly doesn't matter because he's still very new in this. So he's basically a new Robin, but he's his own guy.
Oh, God. Yeah.
So yeah, do you got anything else, or do you want to hop right into?
I played Tekken this week.
Oh yeah, how do you feel about Tekken?
Because they put the new character in, the Prime Minister of Poland, Lydia Sobieska, and she is definitely the coolest character I've ever played in Tekken. I have not played Leroy though, so. But
Leroy is the guy with the tiger head, right?
No, that's King. Coolest to play. I'm not gonna say coolest design because honestly, her design is very just like that. Like she wears a karate gi half off and has like this red, very tight like Under Armour-esque tank top on. But she has like she does traditional karate and it's fucking cool. She like a bunch of her moves. You can either like press like forward AB and you'll jump into like a stance, or back AB and jump into a stance, or you can do specific combos that help you flow into it, and the moves are just so cool.
So are you saying the new Tekken character has style switching?
No, not really.
Damn.
She has stances. It's like, if I would say it could be like style switching only if like you swapped it, like if Kiryu fought in the Dragon of Dojima stance all the time, except if you press like left on the D-pad and then pressed a button, he would do like a specific move. Yeah.
I do want to say it's really funny, and I know this is, for our audio only podcast, not a funny bit, but Ian's only visible in his webcam from the neck up, and it looks so fucking funny.
I am fully reclined right now because my back hurts.
It looks so funny. He's just like, just head, not even his shoulders are visible.
Yeah. So, but do you want to know how old this character is?
The Prime Minister of Poland?
She is the
18?
Prime Minister of Poland. She is 29, which is still incredibly young to lead a country, but then simultaneously be like a black belt in karate and is
Yeah.
trying to destroy the Mishima Zaibatsu because she was offered to work with Heihachi. I don't know her whole background, but I know that she gets a call from him, or she like listens to a voicemail where he was like, "I wish you would have come worked with me, but I hate you now and I'm going to try and kill you." So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she says to get the Tekken Force out of Poland, and he says, "I'm not going to do that." And so she's like, "All right, I'm going to use my karate skills to come beat the shit out of you now."
So she's like, ultimately, I guess, the like enhanced version of Mike Hagar.
1 second. Gotta Google Mike Hagar because I forgot right now.
Because Mike Hagar is a mayor of a city,
Yeah.
right? And he kicks shit. And so she's the prime minister of an entire country, and she kicks shit.
Isn't Cody also the mayor of a city?
Well, Cody became the mayor after Mike Hagar.
Okay, so he takes over Mike Hagar's job. Which is funny because fucking Cody was a villain.
What? No, he wasn't.
Yeah, I swear he was.
No.
Or he was like a criminal or some shit.
No, yeah, he did go to jail.
Yeah.
But he wasn't a villain. He's a good guy.
He neutral good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes when you're kicking the shit, you're kicking bad guys, you go to jail sometimes.
Sometimes you kick the shit out of people so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, was Cody the guy? Which is the Street Fighter character that fights with one hand?
I don't know.
Because I remember listening to old like Castle Super Beast, and they were pogging about how like a character was so powerful that he's just like one hand only, or else it's unfair.
That's rad.
And I feel like it was Cody.
I don't think it's Cody.
Yeah, it probably isn't because that doesn't make sense. Maybe it's G. It could be. I don't know. Who cares?
Maybe it's Dan. I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
I don't know Street Fighter.
Tekken is just so hype with like the way the camera works and how combat works, and they have like their really good like slowdowns and stuff. Or there's like the hit stuns where like punch someone and it does like the zoom in. It's like, wow, that was a heavy hit. Yeah, Tekken.
Yeah,
cool
Tekken's pretty cool.
as fuck.
Tekken's
all I got for Tekken.
Tekken's Bamco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, did you see that Harada, the guy who like is like the lead on Tekken, started his own talk show?
Yeah, that's cool.
Where he serves people drinks in a bar and just talks to them about the like fighting game industry.
That's sick, dude.
Yeah, he had he has 2 episodes out now, and he has one episode where he talks to a pro player and an episode where he talks to a guy who also works in the industry, and he talks about how like if you're going to make a game, you have to, and you need the budget to be like 1 billion yen.
Mm-hmm.
The publisher wants 2 billion back in sales. Yep. They want to double their money. They don't want to make the same money back. They want to guarantee that they will double the money. And he talks about how that's just a frustrating thing because then for fighting games, they don't make as much as other games. So you have to undersell them and be like, no, it's you get less and you have to kind of like fuck over some employees and it just kind of sucks. But that's like the world they live in because fighting games just aren't as popular.
Yeah.
Like I feel like everyone
I'd love to see him do an episode. I'd love to see him do an episode with Daisuke. The Guilty Gear guy.
I think him getting like other people into like his to discuss people, like to discuss the fighting game industry with other like big dudes. But I feel like he's also he has that villain persona going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like he brings it out too much. And now, because I think at one point during the fighting game roundtable, they brought up like someone where they were like, "Don't bring up GGPO, don't bring up rollback netcode at all." And like Harada talked for 5 seconds and immediately brought it up.
Yeah,
because there was people at like Capcom and like the other old guys, like the people who were like really resistant to it, were like, yeah, don't bring it up or else we don't want to be a part of this anymore. And then he was just like, fuck you.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not my
Harada's-
problem that you suck at development.
Harada's great. I do like him. And I'd love to see also on his talk show. I'd love to have him have like Yoko Taro, and then not to never mention a video game because I think they're both just funny people.
Just it bring like Harada. I hope he does episodes that's not just like, or they only talk about like his games or something where Yoko Taro's like this crazy fucking like genius game developer and designer, and they just sit there and talk about like Dead or Alive.
Yeah,
a game that or like Soul Calibur 4, like, you know.
like not even the newest Soul Calibur.
Yeah, okay, no, they don't even have shit that he like was the director or designer on. They were just like, oh yeah, let's get shit. He was like a producer, like fucking Tekken 3D. He was a voice actor in Dimension Neptunia Victory.
That's great.
He was the producer of Pokken Tournament DX.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That's a Tekken spinoff.
Yeah, he was a voice actor for Tekken 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, that's common.
Yeah. Well, sucks that he's not a voice actor anymore.
Well, it's just like back in the day, you didn't really have voice actors. You just had like people,
you had people who worked in the office,
and they would voice the characters.
Yeah, let's get fucking Harada to be like a voice actor, or like the announcer, but like get an announcer pack where all he says is like, "Don't ask me for shit."
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Yeah.
Or just announcer, but it's just anything from the Arxis round star generator.
Yeah, well, do that, but then they all end with "Don't ask me for shit."
Yeah. It's like, what is the fucking really pog one? Oh yeah, it's from the Arxis randomizer. It was the doctor said 9 months. But the clock says 2 minutes. Ready or not? Like, it's so fucking sick.
You
Like,
ever see the Futurama one where it's like someone just re-edited it to look like like a Guilty Gear one where it's Fry saying, "I got a 2-liter of Jest, my All Rush mixtape."
Yeah. It's like 1995, here I come,
Yeah.
or something like that. That's so funny. I love that shit, dude.
Fuck. I want to see if I can find it. I honestly thought it was Octopimp reading that. Because they have like, him and Billy West have like the same sort of cadence for that character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways. That's all I got for this week. I did have Hyrule Warriors there again because I played a bit of it. I
But
like
you
that
don't-
game
you don't
so
have
much
anything
more.
else.
Yeah. Hyrule
Yeah.
Warriors is better than Persona 5 Strikers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't escape from pots and pans. The carbuncle ate itself. First try, throw us to the beasts.
Nice.
You're canceled. Here's a good one. Omens appear to us. The fastest sinner will edit the text. Ball 1, it comes.
Yeah. The fastest racist will become Captain America.
The spokes of the wheel of fate have been replaced. Castle Doctrine. First engagement. Smash. God, fuck. It's so good.
Yeah.
Like, the randomizer doesn't always pick a good one, but you click 3 or 4 times, you'll get one that's actually awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about military propaganda again. It's the military propaganda time.
Also, fuck cops.
Yeah.
Military propaganda, but also let's talk about the social issue with black people existing near cops.
Yeah, military propaganda's military propaganda, but also the history of
ACAB.
racism in the United States and ACAB. And also, these anarchists, you're supposed to not like them, even though they're right.
Yeah, I'm still not like a fan because I don't really know, because the world didn't look very great during the blip. Like they never went into that.
Yeah, but then they offhandedly mentioned that there's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of camps for displaced people.
Yeah.
Like,
but then also like the rich. Well, it also they make it sound like that rich people and politicians left, and they kind of went with more like a socialism. Like we all need to work together to re-establish the world. But then when people came back, they were like,
fuck it.
Well, I'm a rich politician, so I would like my rich politician job back. And they were like, I guess you can, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let's
my ass got itchy there. I had to fucking lean back really far.
All right, so guys, spoilers for episode 2 of Falcon and Winter Soldier. So this episode, we are introduced to John Walker, aka Captain America, aka U.S. agent.
Honestly, he's an asshole, but like, I hate him as much as I should.
I think they do a really good job pushing like him as like not being as much of a piece of shit as you think he is, while he's still pretty much a piece of shit. He's got Battlestar, his friend, who is his sidekick, basically his Bucky.
Was his name Battlestar?
Yeah. He was originally also called Bucky because Bucky was the title, because they were still pretending that like it was in the comics, like it was always like Captain America always needs a Bucky.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh wait, Buck is like obviously like a racist term for a black person.
Is he?
So then they changed him to Battlestar. Yeah. Well, it's like you know, like a buck, like a you know, like how you breed animals.
This is why we can't record these, because I just picked my nose so aggressively.
Yeah, I mean, I would just probably censor it, put a little censored over it.
Yeah, don't make me live with my shame and the fact that my house is so fucking dry right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually, what was so there was a part in the car. So we saw a lot of trailer stuff from this episode. Like, I feel like this episode was pretty much just shown entirely in the trailer.
Yeah, a lot
without
of
the U.S. agent stuff. They kind of like tried to bury that a bit more. But this stuff we saw months ago.
Without the U.S. agent and without the Isaiah Bradley stuff.
Yeah.
Was not in the trailers. But yeah, this is
and
a
also
lot of
a black man yelling at a white man in the slums in the hood of fucking Baltimore, and cops immediately going like, sir, step away from the white man.
Yeah. That was a good bit.
Yeah, well, it was good. It was good with what they were saying, and it wasn't like...
Yeah.
I'm sure when I go to work on fucking Monday, I'll talk to the guy who I always talk to about Marvel stuff, and he's going to be like, oh, so heavy-handed. And it's like, shut up,
It wasn't
man.
even that on the note. Like, it was like pretty valid. But it was pretty restrained, I should say.
Yeah, they do kind of keep like restraining.
They could have gone further.
There was a joke later where he's like, you know, he said my people, and he's just like, man, you know, he didn't mean that.
Like, that was a good bit. And he's
that
like,
was
no,
a
I
good
meant
bit.
Hydra.
Yeah.
Also, the White Panther joke was funny.
The White Wolf. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because he's like, spent some years in Wakanda. You're suddenly the White Panther, White Wolf.
And then he's like, elaborate, and he's like, no. It's literally the Chad meme of like, elaborate, no. That's it.
Yeah. Or the Chad,
so, okay.
just the Chad David Lynch.
They were in the Jeep, and then Battlestar Lamar Hoskins says something to Bucky.
Well, he tells him his name's Battlestar,
and
then Bucky leaves.
Yeah, it seems like he got very upset about that.
No, he thought it was stupid.
Oh, is that why he left?
Yeah.
I thought it was that Battlestar was like something like Hydra affiliation, that he was like, fuck this, nope, I'm out.
No, and then Captain America says to Sam, I'd love to have
I'd love you as a sidekick.
Yeah, I want you to be under me. And Sam's like, eat shit, dickhead.
Well, yeah, because he was voluntarily under Cap.
Him and Steve were partners.
Yeah, but he was like, from the beginning when he met Cap, he was like, oh, we're that's my boss. But then the whole time Captain America was like, no, we are partners, and like elevated his
his
self-worth higher.
Yeah,
and I think that's nice.
That I was gonna say, like, the only real friendship that we get to see develop in the MCU between multiple superheroes that is really between like Falcon and Cap. Like the on your left thing, like it's they're actual friends and they're like kind of equals to each other.
Yeah. Also, does U.S. Agent at this moment in the show have super strength?
He claims not to.
I feel like maybe he doesn't yet, and they'll give it to him when they realize like who the villain is.
Because he did get his ass handed to him.
Yeah, they'll be like, you can't compete as a normal man. You must have superpower, and he's like, fine.
And then maybe the government will go to the same the power broker
the power broker, but then it seems the power broker has like some sort of cost that he requires because their people are running the Flag Smashers are running away. Which you were right.
Yeah.
Didn't you mention that the Flag Smasher was a woman?
I did. Yeah, that was info we already had. Aaron Kellyman.
Yeah, so the leader of the group is officially a woman.
And listen, she can't be, in my opinion, on top of the fact that, like, no borders, the world should be socialist, anarchism's good, all of those things being, like, pretty valid. On top of that, she's pretty. And so therefore, I would say that I'm definitely going to be cheering for the Flag Smashers
Aaron Kellyman. Oh, she was the girl that like pulls off her helmet in Solo, a Star Wars story.
Oh, that's like, her too.
That was her. I remember seeing her in that. I'm like, ooh, girl.
She's a cutie.
Yeah. And then now I'm like, ooh, yeah, you reformed the world.
Yeah. Listen, I believe in your no borders situation. I think you're one of the good guys here.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Compared to
the literal war crimes that the other characters are committing.
Yeah, but it's the whole terrorism thing.
Yeah, I know. Well, sometimes
it is like doing big terrorism. That's the problem.
I mean, that's what America did to Britain to become America. So maybe sometimes it's okay. It's what Ireland did to Britain to continue being abused by Britain.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the answer to some questions. Some problems, I should say. Shit needs to get done sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like the Flag Smashers so far. They haven't really committed any crimes that are that bad.
What'd they do? They robbed that bank, right?
They robbed a bank.
Which is fine.
And only 2 people got hurt and nobody died. And they punched.
Unlike how Bucky would have done it.
Yeah. And then they stole 2 trucks full of vaccines to give to refugees, which also isn't a bad thing to do.
It is not.
Yeah.
Also, wasn't that what her fucking character did? It was trying to do in Solo as well. They like landed with a bunch of shit. She's like, "Please, we need these supplies."
Yeah, I think it was probably similar.
Yeah, she just is like, "I want to play Freedom Fighters and Freedom Fighters only." Because I am vaguely, probably not white.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something about her that I'm like, God, you're like a new ethnically ambiguous. Because it's normally like, hey, is she Asian? Is she Latino? What does she pass for? And then this woman, I'm like, is she like half?
Maybe she just has freckles and that's the only thing that she is.
No, it's the way her hair is as well.
That's true.
Yeah.
She should play Aloy.
She would be a good like live action pick for Aloy. Except the fact that the fucking
she's not very tall or buff.
Yeah. Well, she could get buff. Like all you have to do is work out. But yeah, she is kind of short and Aloy is a tall woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's cool. I hope they don't do the thing that they always do with characters like this,
where she's gonna fall in love with Bucky.
Oh, I was gonna say make her do like a horrible war crime, and then just like, see, the Flag Smashers are evil, even though there's really nothing wrong with what they've done. If
they probably should have
they did
established that
Amon
one of the guys is like it was like a problematic leadership thing where like she seems to be the leader of the Flag Smashers, but also it's like it's a cause that everyone believes in. So maybe they recruit someone or they bring someone in, or like the power broker takes over her like ideal. Like she seems too nice to just all of a sudden drop a war crime. They
Okay,
should
can I-
probably bump her out somehow.
Yeah, can I say something that I think may get me canceled, but I have to say it?
You say
there's
it, and if I say that it's very bad, then you can edit it out.
All right. There's a woman on the Flag Smashers who is a black woman, and I thought it was Lupita Nyong'o's character from Black Panther for a bit.
That's not that bad because they haven't been shown as like a big like ensemble. Like we haven't gotten a very close up picture
Yeah, they're
of
in
them.
they're in like the apartment, and the camera holds on that woman for a minute, and I'm like, is
Yeah.
that supposed to be her character? That character from Black Panther? Because she's a spy who goes undercover a lot.
Yeah.
Could be that's what's going on here. But then I realized it wasn't her after looking at her for a little bit longer. But yeah.
That's fine. That's not that bad.
All right.
You can mistake people like you.
Yeah.
Fucking, when it like, there's a lot of white people I see, and I was like, is that guy? Is that guy?
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. If honestly, if two people are the same race and have the same haircut, they look alike.
Yeah. Just look at BTS.
Yeah. Or me and any other white person with facial hair and my haircut.
Yeah. Fucking
Or
me
Chris.
and me and when my hair was slightly longer, and there was that guy at the Sony State of Play last year that was wearing a red flannel, and it was like, oh, I'm there. It's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was funny.
What was it? Didn't they also say something to Bucky? Like John Walker said something to Bucky about like, I need you to be my number 2, Captain America and Bucky. That's what we do.
Oh, yeah. He said something like that at the police station.
This guy constantly believes himself to be like, we should be boys. Like, I'm Captain America now, so we should be friends.
Yeah, he does have some fucking nerve.
Yeah. He's a very rude man.
Yeah. You know. And again, because he looks so much like his father, Chris would probably be great at cosplaying Wyatt Russell's character here. Also. Because Chris looks kind of like Kurt Russell, who is Wyatt Russell's dad, who plays U.S. Agent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chris. So U.S. Agent looks a little bit like Chris.
God, I love Kurt Russell. He's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, the picture they have
What?
of Wyatt Russell on his Wikipedia looks like shit.
What is it with his massive beard or whatever?
No, he's got like a normal beard, but just the way his hair is, and just it does not look great. Yeah.
What was I going to say? Wyatt Russell's great in this, but U.S. Agent sucks just because he's an asshole.
Yeah, and well, that's his character in this as well. He's just an asshole. Mm-hmm. And we're going to learn to hate him more as time goes on.
There was some fun action scene. There was some fun queer baiting in this episode.
Where?
Sam and Bucky land on top of each other.
Oh, okay. Also, their staring contest.
That too.
And them doing like couple counseling and stuff. That was good. It was a good extended version of the bit, and also where Bucky actually reveals something in therapy. And
that was like devastating. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's like, if he
was wrong about you, he was wrong about me.
Yeah. Bucky, you are like. I also appreciate where he said, "I'm not a killer anymore," and Isaiah Walker was just, or no, what's his last name?
Isaiah Bradley.
Isaiah Bradley was just like, "Fuck you."
Yeah.
You can't walk away from this. You are and always will be a killer.
Yeah. And it's like, well, actually, Isaiah, I actually had no control over my body. I was being controlled by Hydra.
Yeah, I literally don't have... My brain was not in a working state and took me, like, years of therapy to even get to where I believe I'm a person again.
Yeah. But yeah, I get what you mean. But also, like, that's probably unfair. But yeah, speaking of Isaiah Bradley, fucking great character. And
yeah, good. That dude was like, hey, how many scenes I get? 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Doing my best now.
He's killing it. He kills it in the scene. So Isaiah Bradley, in case you don't know, is basically a character where he's only been the main character of one comic, a comic from 2003. And it's a comic talking about how during World War II, when
there was
they
a
were
secondary Captain America.
There was where the government brought in over 200 black men to test different versions of a super soldier serum on because they lost the actual recipe for the first one.
Yeah, and
that got
he was
capped.
the one they worked on.
He was the one that survived of the 200.
Yeah, and then what? He got put in prison after, so they could try and
So
take his blood.
So he gets sent to Germany to fight to get Hydra guys, and he steals a Captain America outfit to do so. And he goes there and he fights. He gets captured for a bit before getting rescued, but then he gets jailed for 30 years for stealing the Cap outfit. And the super soldier serum deteriorates his mind, so he has the mind of a child. And when he's an old man, he's in a wheelchair. His grandson, Eli Bradley, becomes the young Avenger Patriot, and I believe the other character who was with him is probably Eli Bradley in this scene.
He also he has another kid. Should you say his grandkid?
Yeah, grandson Eli Bradley.
Oh yeah, Patriot.
Yep.
He has another kid. He has a son. Who goes by Justice.
I'm unfamiliar.
Josiah
with that
X. He is seems kind of like a one shot.
Oh. But yeah, so that's
He
really
is
cool.
he is genetically his son, but he is not his son.
Okay, so that's like
He is a
probably more-
genetically engineered son of Isaiah and Faith Bradley via a surrogate mother.
Oh, okay.
So it sounds like they just stole.
Stole
Like, they were like,
some cummies from him
yeah,
and some eggs from his wife.
yeah,
Yeah, so this character, obviously, based on the history of American experimentation on black people, and I hope we do get a bit of a deeper dive into him, maybe in a later ep, just
Yeah.
because the stuff that's hinted at there is just the tip of the iceberg of obviously how sad the actual story is.
yeah.
Fucking messed up it is. But maybe they won't put the stuff about all the fucking, 200 black men killed by the U.S. government because,
Yeah, they'll be like
military
200
propaganda.
men. It was
no,
just
I was going to
200
say
men.
just military propaganda. They're like, oh, well, let's not make them look too bad. We're already criticizing them a bit by having them mention stuff, anything.
Or
at
they
all.
were rogue agents.
Yeah, they're like,
like
I
the-
was experimented on by our country.
No, they were.
and
It was the
Hydra.
Hydra part of Shield that infiltrated the army. Yeah. So, I don't know. I think this episode was pretty good.
Yep.
I think
Cool
the
action.
action was. The action was just okay.
The action on the truck I thought was pretty cool.
But it was like the scene that they showed off of them talking about like androids, aliens, and wizards or whatever the fuck,
That's a funny bit.
or sorcerers, and like that was good. And like them like still going on with that they're like in this rough friendship is very fun. And
Yeah.
I can't wait till the end where they're like, no, we're friends. I feel like they're gonna beat the shit out of U.S. agent later, and it's gonna like
and they're gonna
look
jack
like
his
that's-
fucking shield.
No, absolutely, but I feel like it's gonna look like a like a newer version of the fight that Steve and Bucky have with Iron Man at the end of the Civil War.
Yeah.
To be like, look, they're partners now because they are partner, or it'll be like a combination. Did Steve and Sam ever get in a fight with someone at the same time?
Not 2-on-1.
Because I was thinking of a 2-on-1 thing if they did like a mishmash of like, oh, it's like it looks like there's a shot that references Bucky and Steve's fight, and there's a shot that references Sam and Steve's fight against someone, but they're just gonna start doing maneuvers together that they've already done with the other person and be like, look, we're friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the scene that will inevitably come where Falcon's flying and carrying Winter Soldier under the arms.
Yeah.
I think that'll be funny. I
My
hope they do
man.
that. Yeah, oh yeah, that was funny in that movie. That was like one
Yeah.
of the moments in that
Yeah.
that work. But yeah, it's Falcon and Winter Soldier still good. They're still spending $25 million an episode. I think this episode, for whatever reason, was a little bit less memorable and enjoyable than the first.
Honestly, I enjoyed this episode a lot more.
Really?
Yeah. Just like sitting there and like watching it go by, I'm like, yeah, this is a better time. Where the first one was like a lot more like shit's rough out there.
Yeah, but
And
I don't know. That was
the
that was
government
working
hates
for
black
me.
people.
But that was like working for me. Like I felt like the first episode flowed really well.
I thought it was good world building and putting the characters in their shoes of like
I think it's weird that they just are together in this episode. Like there's not really a lot of like the first episode they're apart and then they don't really set up that they're necessarily going to come
it
together.
kind of looked
right
like they were
away.
going to like run into each other, but instead it's just that he shows up at the Air Force base when he's about to leave for a mission and he goes, okay, we're friends. Well, we're like acquaintances and you won't stop following me because I did something bad. Because I think I have imposter syndrome.
But yeah, I like this show. I think it's going to be good still every week.
Yeah,
You know.
I'm gonna vibe. I definitely am already vibing with the show more than I than with WandaVision.
Yeah. See, I was like kind of with WandaVision from the jump,
Yeah.
and I was with this from the jump as well. But you know, I like this show. It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Ian, you want to really quick watch that trailer in complete silence and then tell me what you think of it?
Yeah, sure. I just realized they fixed her hair.
Yeah.
They like took the red and blue away, and it's now the classic red and black.
Yeah, it's not pink
Like
blue,
it's still
red and black.
it's still the modern look, but it's got
Yeah.
like the old artsy. It's God, I love John Cena. If this beach
He's so good.
was horribly covered in mutilated dicks, I would eat them all because you
if
told
I-
me to.
If I thought that if this beach was full of dicks, and if I thought that eating them would bring liberty, then I would eat every single one of them.
Yeah.
Why would there be
so,
penises on the beach? I don't know what madmen think.
So he's not the boss, and neither is Rick Flag. The leader of the team is Bloodsport, Idris Elba.
Well, no. Okay. Amanda Waller is
Yes.
the leader, and then Rick Flag is the sub-leader, and then Rick Flag has nominated Bloodsport, I think, to be the sub-leader, because Bloodsport's still a villain.
Stallone is King Shark?
Yep.
I thought it was supposed to be someone else.
Steve Agee did the mocap.
That sucks. That's so stupid. I don't want.
Well,
I'd
Steve
rather have
Agee-
Steve Agee be there.
Steve Agee's playing a different guy.
Yeah, I saw him in there. I was like, oh, I thought he was supposed to be the other dude, but no, that sucks.
No, Sylvester Stallone as King Shark is a great pick.
I think it's fine, but I just I'm so much more used to the comedic take of King Shark in like Harley Quinn, and then
Yeah.
even like the King Shark that they're doing in the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah,
But
this is
they
a slightly
like
different
his thing
one.
where he's like hand. I'm like, oh, he's some mongoloid.
Yeah, he's
He's an
dumb.
idiot.
Yeah. Did you like
Yeah,
the bit where he was gnawing on a human skull? That was funny.
Oh, where he like picks up. Oh, was he? I just remember
When
him
he's looking-
picking up the guy and going like,
Oh, that
"Ow."
great. He's like nom nom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that cast looks really good. I think Pete
Great
Davidson looks honestly like great in this.
Yeah.
It's like people like love to like dog on Pete Davidson, but when he shows like when he's like in the outfit, I'm like, oh yeah, damn.
As
good.
Blackguard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Probably
funny.
gonna
That's like
die.
a nothing character. Yeah, he's gonna die for sure.
He's gonna be one of the characters that
I will-
dies.
let me tell you, Ian. Do you know who Blackguard is?
No.
Blackguard is a villain in the first 2 issues of Booster Gold, and I don't think we've ever seen him again since the 1980s.
Do you think
I
Nathan
love.
Fillion's gonna die?
Oh yeah, almost certainly. But first, he's going to show off the fact that he's not playing TDK. He's playing Arm Fall Off Boy,
Arm fall off boy?
or whatever it's called. Arms come like the guy who can pull off his arm and hit people with it.
Oh, okay. Oh, regenerative limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nathan Fillion is absolutely gonna die. Pete Davidson's gonna die.
I think
it's gonna be a meme.
I think Flula Borg is going to die. Pretty
Who's Flula
obvious.
Borg?
He's Javelin. He's the guy with the javelin.
I'm just looking at the cast, and there's.
I
just
think
so many
Michael
people.
Rooker will probably die too.
I think so too.
I hope they're going to keep the fact that Savant, which is who his character is, has a boyfriend.
Okay.
I want to keep that.
I think
because,
Polka Dot Man is gonna like stand in one spot, like hoping for something to kill him at one
I think
point. And
I
it's
think
just gonna
Polka Dot
keep-
Man is going to live because he
I
wants
think he's
to
gonna
die.
keep surviving because like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like giant explosion. He's just gonna do this to try and like die. and he
Also,
won't.
he's in the van at the start of the trailer, so
Yeah.
like I think that means he's going to live pretty long into it. which is fun.
Yeah.
But that line where it's like we're all gonna die. I hope so. It's like, that's so fucking good.
Also, the thing where they're like yelling at Peter Capaldi, like Thinker, and like Harley walks up and she's like, "You got a personal license plate, we'll kill you.
Yeah.
If you cough without covering your mouth, we're gonna kill you." And then Rick Flagg's like, "No, 1 second. That's we're not gonna kill you, but that's also not an invitation to cough with your mouth open."
Without covering your mouth, which is funny because they filmed that scene pre-COVID. They finished shooting this movie all pre-COVID.
And then they're just making it better.
Yeah, it was just the edit like that waited, and the movie's done at this point. Like it's just waiting to come to theaters.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, and HBO Max, but we don't have that here. So
yeah.
So Wonder Woman, we're gonna either have to do digital, like Cineplex Store or whatever you use, Google Play, whatever, or theaters, or steal it, or wait until it comes onto Crave like 6 months later.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's a good trailer. I love it all.
It looks great.
It really goes to show you that DC just chose the wrong people to run that shit.
Yeah, and I think they were too hands-on as well. Like, obviously, like, Ayer didn't envision the version of Suicide Squad that came out. Not that necessarily means, like, the darker original version that's less jokey and less, like, fake colorful and less comedic would be better, but at least it would be a consistent vision.
But also the fact that they kept, like, Zack Snyder not, like, being in this, like, Kevin Feige role, but not having the actual power, so just kept being like, this is what I want to do, and the DC guys going like, yeah, sure, you do that.
Yeah.
David Ayer, listen to him.
Yeah.
And then now Ayer's like, I didn't want to listen to him.
Well, it wasn't Zack Snyder that Ayer listened to. I think it was like DC and Warner Brothers.
But I think it was DC and Warner Brothers saying, like, telling them what Zack Snyder's vision was. So that
Ayer wanted to make the darker movie, and he didn't. But the trailer that used Bohemian Rhapsody that was edited by the trailer company, people loved that trailer because it's rad. Like, it's a dope trailer. If you watch that Bohemian,
the movie look funny.
It looked funny. It looked cool. But then like the original like vision was to be more serious. But then like they reshot a lot, and there wasn't like a agreed upon script by the time shooting began. Super weird. But at the very least, it gave us Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, which is like one of the best. But I think this movie looks sick, dude. Like I think it looks great.
I think we've seen enough of like the stuff in the trailers that at this point it's like we're not being hoodwinked.
Mm-hmm.
Like
the music choice, the dirty work by Steely Dan, super cool.
Yeah.
It's about a guy who is fucking a woman who is in a marriage and hates himself for it, but keeps doing it.
Because that pussy bomb.
Yeah, even though it's morally wrong. And that's the same thing as the Suicide Squad, I guess.
Who cares about morals when you getting it in?
Yeah. But yeah, I love Margot Robbie. I think this movie looks sick. Looks super fun. I'm definitely gonna... Again, I love shilling for DC on this show. DC, come on. I'll advertise your comic. I advertise your fucking television shows.
I just think they really need to stop trying to catch up to Marvel in terms of having ensembles and do some solo movies. And I think recasting a majority of the people in the fucking like stuff is fine, but like keep Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Keep Jason Momoa. Recast Batman, not because I think Ben Affleck is bad. I think he's actually pretty good, but apparently a lot of his alcoholism comes from him playing Bruce Wayne because it like stresses him out a lot.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't want to do it anymore, truly.
I was listening to another podcast where they talked about the Snyder Cut, and it's not that he doesn't want to do it anymore, it's that his friends and family who were like, stop doing it because it hurts you physically, and you always like, whenever you finish these movies, you immediately become an alcoholic again.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't like drink when you're filming those movies because you have to look huge and like ripped. So he's probably like on the strict like the Hugh Jackman fucking Wolverine diet.
Yeah.
And then he like immediately rebounds super hard. Ben Affleck has to live like a normal human being. He can't do the superhero body.
Yeah, especially because he maintained it for so long, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it was something he really wanted to do, but he just can't handle it. So he really needs to just step away from the role, which sucks because I thought he was.
I think
I thought
Pattinson's
he had
going to be better.
potential.
I don't like Ben Affleck as Batman. I don't hate him, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for Pattinson to take over. I'd love to see
Well,
like some
Pattinson's
people
not
were
really
like
taking over though. That's like a one-off.
some people were saying that like they wouldn't want that thing, and what I want more than anything is to see the mix in tones and stuff. Like that's part of the fun of the comic bookiness is like I'd love to have something that takes place in the same universe where it's like Suicide Squad exists, but also the Batman exists because like
Yeah.
there's multitudes. Because I think that's fun.
Fucking.
I'm
it
excited
sucks.
for. Did you hear that the Zatanna TV show has been bumped into a Zatanna movie?
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
nice.
it's not going to be a TV show anymore.
So,
It's going to be a movie by the woman who directed Promising Young Woman.
I think we could keep the original, like the two Wonder Woman stories and
Yeah.
the Aquaman movie, but they need to change Superman. I like Henry Cavill. I think he has like the look of Superman down, but he's just so like I just
Boring.
want a new universe.
Yeah.
And he's so based in the dark, edgy universe that's like, let's not do a reboot of Superman with the guy who just played Superman. That's like if Christian Bale was in BVS.
Yeah. Do you know what would I'd be fine with is like, and this is part of the annoying thing about the Snyder Cut and part of what makes it not a very interesting
Also,
movie.
recast Ezra Miller because he did those bad things.
They're probably not going to do that because
I know.
I think it was just the one thing, and I think nobody really cares about it.
I think it got swept under the rug really hard. They were just like,
Yeah.
what? Why did he do that? Who cares now?
Yeah, he got into a fight in a bar in Reykjavik. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, and he like choked out a pregnant woman for some reason.
Damn.
He, like she was like playfully hitting him or something. Like they were just fucking around, and he just got way too serious.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a weird time. Everyone was just like, it was in the middle of quarantine. We were like, why are you out at a bar? Also, why?
Yeah. But one of the things that's annoying about the Snyderverse is also people are trying to hashtag restore the Snyderverse, and I don't fucking care. The Snyderverse
want
isn't
them to.
over. The Suicide Squad clearly takes place in the Snyderverse.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Let's just stop calling it the Snyderverse.
yeah, it
Let's
shouldn't be
just
called that. It's
Yeah.
annoying.
throw in the
but-
rest of the stuff that is
The-
good, and just let's kind of ignore the bad stuff. It's like
The
how
thing
we
I-
ignore most of the Hulk.
The thing I didn't like was like, why did the Justice League movie and all of these other movies have to be the first time these characters meet, right? Like, why couldn't we have just started the DC movie universe in a world where the Justice League are already together? There's already like the Hall of Justice or the Watchtower or the Satellite, whichever ones you prefer, right?
I think the Hall of Justice is a good place to start it at.
Yeah. Like, have it exist, have all these people already be friends, right? And then maybe you can have Darkseid right away, right? Even though that's a thing you might want to build up to just because he's, like, the biggest bad in the world. You can have Darkseid right away because the Justice League's already together and they're all established.
It's kind of like the Age of Ultron thing, where it's like, yes, we operate still out of Avengers Tower, and Tony Stark is still like, this is Avengers thing. I want to be in the center of the universe. But then after Age of Ultron, when they were like, oh, we shouldn't gather like this and be on top of people. We should be off to the side. Mm-hmm. So like they have them
or
in,
do it like
the Hall
Young
of
Justice, where
in the
everybody
middle,
thinks they have just the Hall of Justice, but they actually have the
the Watchtower and like
Yeah.
do the mountain. Just do that. Like they throw it
Yeah.
in that shit.
Yeah, like I think that like people the reason why the Avengers had to be put together individually is because none of those characters were actually popular. Like,
Yeah, where we know all these characters, and Superman may have good comic book storylines, but we who Superman is. We don't need to.
yeah, like you don't need to do an origin for Superman. You don't need to do an origin for Batman. You don't
Yeah.
need to. Maybe you have to do it for Wonder Woman, but like she's famous. Everybody knows who she is, right? You could have just had her movie.
Cyborg being introduced during the Justice League movie is pretty okay to do because that's like a
Yeah.
modern thing they do. Aquaman doesn't need one either. But
People know
it would
who
be,
he is.
But
Yeah,
it
like
would also be better to like define who the character is, because I think people know who Aquaman is. They don't know what he's about. Same with Wonder Woman.
I don't think Justice League was wrong to have Aquaman already exist, and then and then Aquaman's movie after Justice League tells you like his entire backstory or whatever and what he does. Black Panther, but it's for fish people. It's what I always called Aquaman the trailers. I was like, they're just doing Black Panther, but it's for fish people, and no fish people exist in the real world, so it's not as
Who
cool.
else in the like Martian Manhunter also would get introduced in a Justice League movie as like that his thing. I think Flash could have done with his own movie.
Here's a pitch for Zack Snyder's Justice League, sort of similar type of story, but everybody's still established, already established. Okay.
Yeah.
We still have the 3 mother boxes, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
The Justice League are already formed, but it's only the ones that aren't Cyborg and Martian Manhunter. And they exist, and they meeting up at like the Hall of Justice and stuff. And suddenly, right, Bruce Wayne has his thing, meets up with the Martian Manhunter. He just shows up, right? And he's like a new guy. And he's like, I'm here to warn you. Darkseid is coming, right? To your fucking planet. And then they're like, okay, well, what does Darkseid want? It's like, oh, if he gets the 3 MacGuffins, he can do this. And then they find out that one of the MacGuffins is no longer a mother box, it's a person, right? Instead of the thing that fixed him existing as a separate thing, do it like they did in Young Justice, where it literally fused into him.
Also Vision.
Right. Also Vision.
That's like the Vision fusing into being like the thing. It's like we can't just give Vision over. We have to protect him.
Yeah, and have that be the whole thing. And that's how they meet Cyborg.
They don't have the option of... There's a spider in the corner of my room, I just noticed. They don't have the option of having someone like destroy it, because the mother boxes are like, they exist beyond time.
Yeah, and Cyborg's also like immensely powerful. Like like in the comics, he's even more powerful than he is in the movie.
It's maybe he's like already been attacked by parademons or whatever, and he like has defeated them, and like he's on the run, and he meets up with the Justice League, and he just sees Batman. And like there was a bunch of sketches in the Snyder cut. I don't know if it's in the original version, where it's like, are they going to start blaming Batman? Like they kind of do in that one scene with Jim Gordon.
Yeah.
And that's it. Where it's like all the sketches look like Batman.
Yeah, that's like a stupid plot thread that doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, so I'm saying like that he shows up and does like his ominous thing, and Cyborg is like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
Does not need to be in that movie at all.
Yeah, it's there for like that one joke where like they all disappear when he turns around, but then Ezra Miller's still there, and he's like,
which is stupid because that's a Batman thing.
Yeah, that they all do it. I think it would have been funny if he's somehow front and center, and they're all looking at Jim Gordon, and they turn back and like all 3 of them are standing there, and they're like,
"Yeah, where did he go?
Fuck!" Like he disappears to all of them. And they see him leave.
Yeah. Also, Steppenwolf shouldn't be in any movies. He's boring.
Yeah. Get Granny Goodness.
Or Desaad.
Any of them.
Yeah.
Also, Vandal Savage would be cool.
Dude, Vandal Savage would have been so much cooler Justice League movie. Holy fucking shit. Or
I think Vandal Savage, because you know how like in Age of Ultron is
do you know what would have been a better standalone villain movie? I can name 2 better standalone villain movies than Joker that are way cooler and more interesting and more
Vandal
comic
Savage.
accurate. Vandal Savage, the history of Vandal Savage. Fucking, that's a cool movie. That's a cool fucking movie idea.
Yeah.
And
also
2,
just cast him as some like East Asian looking dude.
Yeah, get somebody. I don't know. You could kind of get anybody, but get somebody who's like Asian, because.
But the fact is that he was
Genghis
Khan, and that's like his most famous thing. He was. You should definitely cast him as some sort of Asian dude instead of being like, oh, white people have just always existed, when we factually know that's not true.
Yeah, get somebody who's like Filipino
evolution
or something, where they're like kind of more mixed, and like
The problem is, I know there's giant, like huge, like buff, like Japanese, Filipino, Vietnamese, Mongolian people, but like there's not. I don't really know many that are like actors. Like I feel like the biggest Asian dude I've ever seen in a movie is probably one from Doctor Strange. Like in terms of like stature.
Oh, you mean
I'm just gonna look up tall
What's that
Asian
guy's
dudes. Tall Asian actors.
Well, you can just put people in risers, dude. That's not like a problem.
That's it. Oh, Godfrey Gao. Taiwanese Canadian actor. Oh, dead.
Okay.
Died from cardiac arrest.
Okay. But yeah, get some tall Asian person to play Vandal Savage.
Yeah.
Then the other cool standalone villain movie that I think would be awesome would be like a Lex Luthor for President movie.
You know what is funny?
What?
When you look up Asian people, Dwayne Johnson is number one.
He's not even from Asia.
He's not. He's very much not from Asia. But honestly, because like I could see Dwayne Johnson being like have that like height and the body, but he's just not a good enough actor.
Yeah. I don't buy Dwayne Johnson as Machiavellian.
He's too. He emotes too much. Where like Vandal Savage is very even.
Yeah, Vandal Savage is like...
Yeah.
When you think of the man... Like, it's like very much you have to do monologues, right? And I don't see The Rock doing monologues.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, so Vandal Savage standalone movie, and then a Lex Luthor for President movie standalone.
Oh, yeah, that would be a fun, like, Superman movie.
Yeah, because, like, you could
president.
have Superman, like, not even there. Like, is what I'm saying. Like, you could have it be about Lex Luthor becoming president and Superman exists and he's, like, obviously a villain to Superman and he's anti-Superman, but it's just him playing the politics game to get there.
You would have to put him on risers, but what if it was Daniel Day Kim?
Oh, he's great. He could be Vandal Savage for sure.
Yeah, he's like 5'10", but still, it's just like, just put him on, like, fucking everyone. They do risers with everyone else. Mm-hmm. Like... He's big and he has the
he can do a dramatic monologue. Prowess. Yeah, he could do a monologue where he's like, you know,
sometimes he is pretty jacked.
Yeah, the foundation of man is violence, right? Like you could do like a big thing. But yeah, those would both have been cooler movies than Joker. God, I did fucking Vandal Savage would be so cool.
Yeah,
like
Vandal Savage, I feel like would be a good Justice League too. Kind of like how Vandal Savage is associated with Darkseid in a way, but he's like associated like how Ultron is associated with like
where there's just really Young Justice. Like he's met Darkseid, but
yeah, but I mean like there's a connecting thread, but they don't work together.
Yeah,
where like Ultron wants to get the body with the Infinity Stone to be the more powerful version of himself, like the unbeatable Vision version of himself. Mm-hmm. But then, like, that's what the stone connects him to. Other thing, I don't know. Maybe like he has one of the mother boxes or some shit. Who knows?
And Vandal Savage just wants power. Like he
believes in freedom through oppression.
Yeah,
he's a very interesting character, and he's like very pragmatic and does what he needs to do.
Like, just imagine a feature-length movie of that episode of Young Justice that goes into his whole backstory. Like,
yeah, where like, sick. And then also he like snaps his daughter's neck in front of his other daughter because she's like old now because they don't have his longevity.
Yeah.
Vandal Savage is such a cool character, and I don't want the current DC universe to touch him at all.
Yeah, like that would have been cool. That'd be cool if you do the R-rated Vandal Savage movie.
Oh, you know what else?
And then have the Justice League movie where they have to fight him. That'd be so fucking cool.
We could have a Black Vandal Savage as well.
We could also have that, yeah. That'd be no problem.
It just can't be a white guy. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all we got to agree on here.
Yeah, because, I mean, he started as a caveman, so.
Yeah, Cro-Magnon man.
Yeah. He's cool as hell, man. Love that guy. Anyway, I think that's the whole...
It could kind of be from... because the map of the distribution of like Cro-Magnon people or whatever is around like Eurasia, but then also like Africa.
He was Genghis Khan. He was Genghis Khan. We need to.
So he needs to be an Asian dude.
He either needs to be Asian or extremely ethnically ambiguous.
Yeah, that for sure. Yes.
Yeah. But thanks so much for listening to the podcast, everybody. We had a fun one today. If you want to find more of us, you can find every episode of the show at youtube.com/N8scomedy. You can also find us on any podcast listening service, Spotify, Google Podcasts, etc. If you found us, you know how to find us. If you want to follow me personally on social media, I am at The Media Hole on Twitter. I'm at The Media Hole on TikTok. I am at twitch.tv/The Media Hole, where I do want to stream more. I say that every fucking episode, and then I don't do it.
Yeah, you do.
And then also Tumblr, when your balls get stuck to your leg.tumblr.com. If you want to find Ian on the internet, he is at StrugglesV. He has recently set up a bot on his account to tweet #Restore the Snyderverse to every person in Hollywood. To every person in Hollywood.
I also created a bot to go do review bombs on Godzilla versus King Kong because it's owned by the same company that says release the Snyder Cut, release the Ayer Cut, and fix the Snyderverse or whatever.
Restore the Snyderverse. But thank you so much.
That's a real thing that's happening.
All right. Have a great one, boys and girls and liberals. Goodbye.